Who's that?
That's Curry.
The Curry. So
okay, the umpire holds the ball off on the Angus Securities game today. You're on RPH Football with Dennis Brown.
Up they go. Scholar, the left-handed tap. Immediately running onto the ball there is Westhoff of the Lee variety. He's dragged to the ground by the Pies, and there'll be a ball up, take two. In fact, a free kick is there in there.
Interesting to note too, boys, that Buckus McKenzie is lined up at full-back.
Okay, well, anyway, Westhoff got a free kick out of that. He gave it over to Sibonala. He goes up towards full forward, but Eilert comes out and takes the mark for the Pies. Immediately puts it out to centre wing. That's fraught with danger. Luckily, Polton got there to thump it away from Chris Gowns, who was going to run onto it, and also trying to get to the footy there as it rolls out of bounds is Locken, and it's now out of bounds right in front of the bowling green, right half-forward flank for the Doggies.
I reckon that hurt Chris Gowns. He got up very gingerly there, so we'll have to watch him as the day unfolds.
So the spoil while Polton was almost too aggressive for Locken, beat him over the line. There's the throw in. It was Scholar getting first hand to it, and it's Lee Westhoff getting involved. He gets a sort of half a handball out. Chris Gowns, does it beautifully. Handballs to Scholar. Scholar goes to the wide running Swatala on the inside. He drops the footy, and now it's mopped up by Kingsley. He goes by hand to Polton. He's in a little bit of trouble. He goes backwards now. He's got a bit of time. He's got a player out wide. That's Johnny Baird, and he marks, well, pretty much at centre half back. He's just slightly in the square. He handballs over now. The running player there is Tim Luby. He's got it centre wing out of side. Has the luxury of a bounce. The chase by Ware is good. The speed by Luby is great, and there's a half a tackle there by Ware as he kicks it inside 50. The relieving mark is taken by Adrian Wilson. He plays on immediately. Went to come to the members' side, but now rebounds from 50 with the hand pass and goes to the outer side. The player there was Andrew Hayes. He gives off to a teammate who kicks to centre wing outer side, and the mark taken there by Scholar, and the attention there by Marek, and off he goes. He's gone. He's holding the ball. He got a handball away, and it was enough attention by the Port team to affect a spoil. It comes back now to Marek. Marek comes inboard. Slattery, the hand pass was good. Had to stretch the hammies to get there. He goes now inside 50. What can happen here? Michael Johnny's in the van. Has taken the mark. Oh, play on, the umpire said, because it was stolen by the Doggies, and that's a rush behind. First score on the Marble Bar scoreboard to the Maggies, 1 point. Yet Doggies yet to score.
Yeah, Thomas to bring the ball in for the Doggies.
Interesting to note that they've put Big Buckets McKenzie on marriage just to match up in the height.
Well, they had to, I reckon.
Yep.
Smitty, as Thomas goes straight down the high diddle looking
kick.
for. That'll be a free kick to the player in front. Don't think there's any doubt about it. They've paid advantage, hasn't he?
No.
Oh, gee whiz, I tell you what,
Tommy Carr.
Yeah, they've come out to play the Magpies, no doubt about that. Well, when Tommy Carr hit McCabe like he was a car, I'll give you the strong tip. The ball is with Satala, centre-half back. He goes to the outer side. Oh, players created space out there in Westhoff of the Lee variety. He puts it on the left boot. The long lead is on from Shelley's out in front, but couldn't hang on to the footy. Actually got his hands in on the footy. Now it comes back to Westhoff, who's followed up beautifully. The little short pass in towards the pocket, and McCabe has marked from about 25 metres out, right in front of, would you believe, the Grand Central time clock.
It certainly is, and that tells us we've only played 3 minutes of this first half, and Central District's first foray into the forward 50, and McCabe, the Jack Odie medalist from last year, lining up for his first touch and his first shot on goal, and certainly will be a score because he's only around about 35 metres out.
Great running by Lee Westhoff then.
It certainly was. So McCabe comes in now, kick is on its way, and he has just jabbed at it when he should be kicking through the ball, and a minor score on the Marble Bar scoreboard. So all locked away here at the Angus Securities game of the day. 1 point apiece on the Marble Bar scoreboard.
Okay, the Magpies kicking out from defence, and that's Tommy Carr that's got it. I beg your pardon, it's not Tommy Carr, it's Tim Luby, left footer as well. He goes into the pocket. The kick will come and find the player there in Elston. He plays on immediately, gives to Biarchi on a half-back flank on the outer side. He goes to the running Slattery and will mark out in front of the eyes. It was a good kick and a good take by Slattery. He's approaching centre-half forward now with the kick, and it's generous, should take the mark. He does that, plays on immediately. It's important today. They keep running Port, and they're doing it beautifully. The kick inside 50. What can happen here? Oh, Thomas with class and experience does it well. Marked at half-back left for the Doggies. In front of Jeremy Clayton. So a little bit of yip-yapping there by Jeremy, one would have thought. And a 25-metre penalty will bring him up, well, right on the edge of the centre square just about, and Thomas will relieve the pressure for the Dogs. So we're matching up pretty well both sides just at the moment. Thomas, number 16 in the cream boots on, goes towards centre-half forward. But making good position there. Tim Luby did well. He's been involved early. So Luby comes across board and finds Marek, who plays on now by hand, and will find Eilert. Yeah, Eilert now running through the square, bangs it on the right boot. He's looking there for Slattery, got into his opponent's back. That was Wilson. Now Jeremy Clayton. Oh, gee whiz, he ran into Wilson. That would have hurt him, I would have thought. And he
going to get a free kick. I'll tell you what, he's probably lucky. I know he was hurt, but he was very lucky because he actually ran into Wilson. Wilson was standing still as a post, and Clayton's run slap bang into him.
Yeah, but Buckus McKenzie was involved with that as well, and might have just grabbed him a little bit high. So, but Jeremy Clayton...
Replay, Smitty.
I will have a look at the replay, but we haven't got one here, unfortunately, as Jeremy Clayton will line up from around about 48 metres out, virtually directly in front. Kicker's on its way. He's leant back. He's kicked it long. He's kicked it strong. And he has missed to the far side for another minor score on the board for the Magpies. So they go to 2 straight points on the Marble Bar scoreboard, leading Central 1 point as Thomas, the designated kicker for the Central side, will bring the ball back in.
Okay, so Thomas certainly been involved heavily, and he's got a loose player, and that is Richard Cochran, marching in the back pocket. He goes with the kick, and as he does that, he rebounds from 50. He's got a player there in Hayes. He runs onto it. He's got some support from McKay, but he's wrapped up beautifully by Tommy Carr. The handball ended up favouring the player there for Port, and that was Matthew King. He's involved. He's wrapped up. He threw it out to Slattery. He's done that beautifully. He goes by hand to Polton. Polton with the left boot will go deep inside 50. What's going to happen here? There's players galore. Jeremy Clayton could almost run into it. McKenzie, he does it beautifully, and handballs back to Richard Cochran, almost in exactly the same spot as he was before. The kick by McKenzie as he rebound from 50 was terrible. Running onto it is Scholar, and he does that well, the big 33. He's at a half-back flank, and now comes to grandstand side centre wing. John Baird certainly being held, one would have thought, just from looking at that, but picked up by Westhoff, the Jaber right. He gives to McCabe. The pressure is intense. Coming in like a steam train was Tommy Carr. Great pressure by Port Adelaide. Levy says to Justin Westhoff, "Don't like you today," and it'll be a boundary throw in directly in front of the RPH commentary crew. Thanks to Angus Securities, you're on RPH Footy with Dennis Brown.
Umpire to throw it in. We've got a game here. Don't worry about that. Both sides, bit of feeling in the past as big Marrick got rid of Scholar, running onto it now. Jimmy Gown. Will he get support from Westhoff, who did that cleverly, actually? Tapped it onto Jimmy Gown, who now gives it to McCabe. He'll run to the 50. The lead is on from Shell, and he'll mark it. No, he won't. Great pressure there by Archie. Forces the ball over the boundary line for a boundary throw in the right full forward pocket.
Interesting to see Tommy Carr give it to McCabe before, because he missed the ball here. McCabe ran down, was involved in that play then, and Tommy Carr was a good 30 metres behind him, and very, very lacklustre from Tommy Carr's performance.
Boundary thrown in that right full forward pocket. Beautifully read by Jimmy Gowns. He tried to get it over to We Ain't Happy, who wasn't quite there to pick it up. The ball in the back pocket. Taking it there was Elson. He's under enormous pressure. Can he go in and get the ball again? He can, but he dragged to the ground, and the umpire has no option but to ball it up about 15 metres out from the doggy goal.
Well, what an exciting start to this game. No goals on the board. Marble Bar scoreboard 2 points to 1, but certainly it's not lacking anything in intensity. So it's deep inside. Central's attacking 50. They're going to the southern end. Scholar got a half a left palm to it. It came down. Players are scrambling for the ball. One of those involved was one of the Gowans boys, and that was James, I think. Will confirm that as he gets himself up off the carpet. And also involved there was number 9. In fact, it was Chris. Goodness me, you can't tell with these blokes. It's ridiculous. Kingsley was the Port player involved. Grand Central says we've gone 7.5 minutes in the first term. There's the ball up. It was Marrick getting first hand to it, but only so far as the player there for Port, and that was Cameron Island, but he was wrapped up by Chad O'Sullivan, and right in front of that Grand Central time clock will be another ball up, DB.
Yes. 8 minutes gone, courtesy of Grand Central. Marble Bar scoreboard 2 points to 1 point in favour of the Magpies.
Scholar got the left hand of the ball under enormous pressure. Highland pulled off it when he didn't have it. The umpire's right there to see it. The handball comes out to Big Scholar, who lines up and hits the post because he jabbed at it and he didn't kick through the footy, Smitty.
You'd think they'd learn, wouldn't you? They've got to kick through the ball, and it just amazed me why players... I mean, we saw the classic cape with Daniel Motlop down in Tasmania a couple of weeks ago, and if they don't learn from that, they'll never learn. The
ball kicked out to that back pocket, and taking it there was Carr for the Magpies. He'll go to the long lead of Biaggi at centre wing. Will he run onto it? With him there was trying to pick him up, the player out there at centre wing for the Doggies. Who is that? With the glasses there, mate.
Not sure. He's facing towards us, but there's the boundary line thrown
isn't it?
In front of a very, very heavy, polluted outer there, and the kick forward went to Elston, ended up with the player there in Slattery, I think it was, who gave by hand to Cameron Island, who goes and finds Jenna. Jenna marks just outside of centre half 40, runs into a player of Westhoff Hill, goes inside 50. Some involvement by the Port players there. Thomas is wrapped up beautifully in the tackle, and that is going to be a ball up right at centre half forward for the Magpies. They're going to the northern end of Alberton Oval. Grand Central says that we've gone almost 9 minutes, and the scoreboard is 2-2.
Yeah, good tackle by Jeremy Clayton there. Thomas was away. There was no doubt about that. The ball tapped forward by Bolton of all people. He running onto it now is Jenner. Jenner comes backward, gives it to Kingsley. Kingsley looks up and sees Clyde, baby, on the lead, and that's the way the footy goes. Straight down the throat load of Clive Waterhouse, who will line up and surely, Smitty, put the Magpies' first goal on the board.
Well, he's going to kick from around about 40 metres out, virtually directly in front, but great vision there by Kingsley. Looked up and saw Clive running into the open space, put it out in front of him, and Clive didn't let him down. So Waterhouse lining up now for his first touch of the game, and he's going to kick from around about 35 to 40 metres out, virtually directly in front, and good handball then by Kyle Jennett-Hu to find Kingsley. So Waterhouse comes in now. He stabs at the ball as well, and what has he done? Has he kicked the first goal on the board? He has, by the look of it. So the first goal on the board to Port Adelaide. They go to 1-8. They lead Central 2 straight points on the Marble Bar scoreboard. 10 minutes gone, courtesy of Grand Central, and Michael back in the studio will tell us the scores from around the grounds, courtesy of Black and White Trucks and Removals.
In the AFL, it's Sydney by 8 points over Melbourne. At Woodville Oval, it's the Eagles 5 goals straight 30 to North 1 goal straight 6. They kicked the 5 goals in 8 minutes. And at Unley, it's Glenelg 2 goals straight 12 to Sturt 1 point. And we've failed to get a score at Noarlunga, but we'll keep you up to date there shortly.
Is the ball up in the centre of Alberton Oval. It was Clayton who got it to Butcher, who went to a player there in Biarchi, I think it was, who went inside 50 at a good mark. Backing back, you mentioned it spot on there. Smithy Adrian Wilson took a very good mark indeed.
That's a PDK highlight, that mark.
So Adrian Wilson plays on. He's got the running Swatala, who marks in the opposite back pocket. He plays on, has a bounce now. He rebounds from 50, has a second bounce. He's got some support by one of the Gowns there. I think that was James. The kick was pressurised and ended up with the Islet, the player there. He goes inside 50. It's marked by Kingsley. Gee, that's good pressure by Port Adelaide, resulting in a turnover. And Kingsley, a shot for goal, probably will kick from about 40 metres out directly in front barrel. Yeah, it was a Smithfield crash clanger, wasn't it? The kick from, I think it was Fatala, DB, wasn't it, that kicked that ball? And that was a real clanger, a Smithfield crash clanger. And the turnover is costly because it has ended up with Kingsley. Now, Polton picked that kick up, looked up and saw Kingsley, and the kick was magnificent. So Kingsley lining up 35, 40 metres out, comes in now. He has 2 kicks through the ball, and he has kicked his first. The Magpies are on a bit of a roll here at the Alberton Oval. They've got 2 goals, 14. They lead Central, stuck on 2 points by 12 points. Grand Central tells us 11 minutes have gone of this first quarter on the Angus Securities game of the day. Both sides certainly have come to play. Tackling has been absolutely outstanding so far, and the movement of the ball has been superb. And good crowd, probably estimated around about the 3,500, DB.
Yeah, look, you mentioned about the kick of Polton, but the mark by Kingsley was a beauty too, because the ball actually just dropped a little bit short. And the kick from Islet, in actual fact, and gee whiz, it was a good pick-up. Great mark. That was indeed a PDK highlight. Up they go in the centre again. Scholar got the ball running onto it as O'Sullivan. If he can pick it up, it won't sit for him. Now he's got it. What he puts in the back, no, it to the umpire. Oh, McCabe was grabbed high. Just got the hand up the shoulder. Comes to Jimmy Gowns. The umpire pays advantage, and Jimmy's missed to the right-hand side for the minor score.
Yeah, shouldn't that come back, though?
Well, he gave him the advantage and he missed. No, Smitty, in answer to your question, as the ball is now out there with Biarchi. He'll give it to Carr. Carr, who's now on the half-back flank on the outer side, will centre the ball. Big Marek is there. All went up over the top. The ball will come back out to all the doggies there as McCabe runs onto it, turns around and fires a long bomb. In fact, to come off the boot, shockingly, that was a Smithfield crash clanger as Biarchi marks the ball at half-back. So the doggies kicking, letting them down at the moment. Again, out there is Baird on this occasion. He'll go right up towards centre wing to Polton, in fact just further than centre wing, and Jared Polton's now got the footy on. The umpire, what up there? He must have called play on because Jimmy Gowns ran over the mark and Polton dodges and puts it into the pocket, getting rid of his opponent there with Slattery, trying to run onto it there for the doggies, for the Magpies, I should say. I think it's Kingsley. He'll go on the left boot towards goal. Not a bad looking snap, hit the post in actual fact, and the minor score recorded to the Magpies. They go along to 2 goals, 3-15. The doggies are 3 behind on the Marble Bar scoreboard.
Yeah, it was good pressure by Thomas here to execute that tackle.
Thomas kicked out and found Westhoff Ellen centre wing grandstand side. The kick was in favour of his teammate, but Slay, who hasn't been in the game yet, has certainly been outpointed. King takes it, he gives it Johnny Baird. John Baird's got Marek, loose as a goose in the centre. He takes the mark, plays on immediately. Biarchi, who's been certainly impressive early on, goes inside 50 to the Waterhouse. Waterhouse, what can he do? Clive is involved. The forward line pressure is good by Clive. Took on 2 doggies, the Magpie did, and that's holding the ball. Surely now the ball comes out. Chris Gowns has got it, and he's got some time and space. He's inside the defensive 50. The kick came out, was terrible. The dreadlock Islet ran onto it. He's grabbed it out. The footy umpire. It's picked up by Jeremy Clayton, who kicks to centre-half forward. Getting involved was O'Sullivan. He was grabbed when he didn't have it. Butcher goes backwards in order to go forwards. It goes to Elston. Elston's got a loose man at centre-half forward. That's
Wilson.
The mark by Wilson was fantastic. He gave to McCabe. McCabe rebounded from 50, and off they go.
Yeah, Sivanala with the footy. A long bomb now, right up towards the 50. Shell got a hand up to it, but right there with him was Archie. The ball spins back inside the 50. Archie fighting for the free kick and did it superbly. Oh, well done, Archie. Did he suck the umpire in then or what? Did an absolute treat as he gets the handball over. Gives it to Carr now. Carr towards the centre wing. Polton's there all by himself, and Naxel back to it at centre wing and dropped what he should have taken. That was a Smithfield crash playing on. There'll be a boundary throw in centre wing on the outer side.
Good to see that centre wing on that outer side covered with people too. So good crowd in here at the Angus Securities game of the day.
There's the boundary line throw in. Scholar it was getting rid of Marek, and he did that beautifully. One would have thought he was holding on to him, but he didn't. The umpire came in and says to me, there's a player down off the ball there, and that is Andrew Hayes. He looks like he's okay. He's getting up a little bit gingerly. Didn't see what happened, but he certainly caught one somewhere. One would have thought in the breadbasket, the way he's moving around gingerly. The ball up ended up with Polton. He gave backwards, and the player there that has got it, I can't pick up who that was, Jeremy Clayton, who the kick is fantastic, as you'd expect, finds Jenner. He's in the centre square. He turns around. He's got a player there, and it's been taken there by, can't pick up who that is. Slattery it is. He goes now long inside 50. That's a good kick on the left boot. Clive Waterhouse, he's in front. He's almost taken a one-hander. Mickeljohn gets involved, going in hard. All players concerned. It's now popped out, and the old Vindaloo's got it, and Curry, he goes into the back pocket and finds one of the players there, and that's Matthew Slade. He plays on immediately. He kicks it only so far as Locken and Chris Gowns. Locken did beautifully and punched it out of bounds right in front of the Port Power headquarters on defensive 50 for the Dogs.
And the still before change there. Scholar off and Griffin on for the Doggies.
Yeah, Waterhouse unlucky not to get a free kick there. The umpires have missed a few free kicks here, and I'll tell you what, they want to be sharp and right on their ball, because this game will get out of hand if they're not. The ball goes up towards half forward at the back, but the mark taken there by Westhoff of the Justin variety. He goes onto the right boot again, a poor kick off the boot, bounces over the head of Shell, also over the head of Island. Island tries to get the handball back. Beautifully done by Baird, gives it to Archie. He kicks it on the left boot, goes for the safety of the boundary line. First there will be Westhoff, but he's forced over the boundary line for a throw-in, and it'll be a boundary throw-in. Good work there for the Pies by Biarchi to force young Lee Westhoff over the line. The boundary umpire to throw it back, half forward flank, right in front of the bowling green. Backett comes spinning into play. The ball tapped down. First there was Hayes. He got the handball back to McCabe. McCabe's kick was smothered off the boot. And no, it wasn't, because the umpire has paved the mark to Baird, who immediately plays on. Islet running off the defensive 50. Takes the mark. The Magpies are playing pretty good footy at the moment. The long bomb up towards half forward. But that'll be a 25-metre penalty for sure and certain, because he marked the ball and Sivanala grabbed him and threw him to the ground.
It might even take him into kicking range. No, it won't. He's going to be too far out. Wilson to stand the mark.
Well, it was only about 20 metres, and now he bombs it towards Clive Waterhouse in the pocket. Up he goes, got two hands on it, couldn't hang on to it. The diving on the ball there was McKenzie, came to Lee Westhoff to McCabe. McCabe around the body, up towards half forward, and great work by Locken. Forces the ball over the boundary line for a throw in half forward flank grandstand side for the Pies.
I think the player infringing on the Slattery mark was Elijah Ware, and it's gone out of bounds, so it's probably slightly favouring half forward for the Magpies. It's a lovely throw in by the boundary umpire, and pushing out his opponent was Scholar. McKenzie, I beg your pardon.
Free kick against Locken for hanging on to Chris Gowns, and they've been at each other the whole game, so a free kick will come back to Chris Gowns, and Locken got the tagging roll on Chris Gowns.
Van Marek, that is just dead set stupid. He's thrown the ball back aggressively, not even at the target, so it's a 25-metre penalty, and Chris Gowns will come to centre wing grandstand side. Standing the mark is Locken. He's looking a little bit gingerly, Matthew Locken, but Chris Gowns plays on immediately. He's got Adrian Wilson. The kick wasn't good enough. This is a 50-50 ball. Wilson, he's wrapped up beautifully by Jenner. It's a free ball. Biarchi has been one of the best players on the ground. He's got Clive, baby Clive, inside 50. He can run right to the goal line. He has the bounce now. Number 3 coming up to Port Adelaide. The Maggies are on fire. 3-3-21. The Doggies 3 behind. Fantastic football, Port Adelaide.
Yeah, silly play there by Waterhouse, and turning around and showing the ball. Very, very cocky. And I tell you what, the central players and Roy Laird will let their players know that they've done that. And silly play. Just go and kick the goal, son. Don't worry about showing off. You've only kicked 2 goals. You're only 3 goals in front at this stage. We'll go back to studio and get scores quickly from around the grounds, courtesy of Black and White Trucks and Removals.
In the AFL, it's Sydney, 14 points clear of Melbourne. In the other SANFL games, it's the Eagles by 34 points over North Adelaide. South Adelaide are 12 points clear of Nord. And Glenelg are 23 points in front of Sturt.
Okay, from the centre bounce there again, Port Adelaide go forward through Marek. The handball was good to Polton. Polton onto the lead. The player in the pocket, and that's Hinkley. That'll be another 25. If the umpire slipped over, did he see it?
Oh,
to by one of the Central's players. I think that was Chris Gowns that ran into the umpire by mistake. Didn't see that, so the 25-metre penalty was missed, DB.
Well, there you go, Smitty, because certainly was an infringement. Should have been a 25-metre penalty, but maybe Adam Kingsley will go back and kick a sausage roll anyway.
He's going to kick from 48 metres out. Kick is on its way now. It's kicking long and strong, but it's going to go past the face of the goal and go for a minor score. So, on the Marble Bar scoreboard, 3 goals for 22. Central's 3 straight points.
And Adam Kingsley, 1 goal, 2 for the afternoon, so he's certainly been involved. Adam Kingsley hasn't had a whole host of it, but he's having a shot for goal. And it'll be Paul Thomas relieving the pressure by the Central side. The Maggies have certainly come to play today. Gee, Butcher got involved. There's a free kick's going to be paid to Sivanola for holding. So Butcher and Sivanola, that was good there. There's some action inside the 50, and guess who? It's the Gowans brothers. One of them, Chris, involved there with the Locken, I think it was. The umpire is, in fact, saying there's a free kick downfield. So
no, he's giving him a 25-metre penalty against Locken again for infringing against Chris Gowans. So Locken has cost his side twice here, and he's got to start to be acting a little bit disciplined, because you don't want to upset the Gowans boys. All of a sudden, it's a 50-metre penalty.
That's 50-metre penalties. So Sivanola in unfamiliar territory just outside 50. He's going to go deep inside. He'd be looking for Shell, would have thought, and Archie will come from behind. He affects the ball beautifully. Reading it superbly was Elstone. He's at a half-back flank now. He's got some time. Getting involved with Tommy Carr. That's a kick deliberately trying for out of bounds. What's going to be the end result? There's 2 doggies running onto it, and they will save it. They come in board now, and that's got O'Sullivan. They marks in front of Islet. O'Sullivan goes this way, gets around Johnny Baird, runs to 50, does O'Sullivan. He unloads only so far as Tommy Carr, 2 marks right in front of the right goalpost at the southern end at Alberton Oval. Grand Central says we've just clicked into time on 3-4 to 3 points in favour of the Maggies. The kick by Tommy Carr was too far, but a free kick has been paid to the player out there. And that is Adam Kingsley. So Shell infringing there. Well, doesn't go back behind the mark. I wouldn't have thought Kingsley, but plays on immediately and kicks it straight to Adrian Wilson. Figure that out. Good afternoon, the Napoli brothers. Smithfield crash moment.
Exactly, and it's one of many at this stage. The pressure must be enormous out there. Comes to Swatala, he bombs it, a long one, in towards full forward, up go the defensive, pull out, down it comes to McCabe, almost at his head, get a free kick, and he'll kick from 20 metres out directly in front.
Yeah, the free kick was there, even though he did duck, he did get hit high, and McCabe will line up now for his shot on goal, 25 metres out. Directly in front, so McCabe comes back in now and has again just jabbed there. At this time has jabbed it through for his first, and the doggies have got their first through Luke McCabe. It was a free kick. The free kick was paid by the umpire. He was hit high, and a little bit of feeling in this game, boys, and a couple of 25-metre penalties, a couple of 50-metre penalties have gone against the Magpies. And Paul, you did say they'd come out here and try to rough up this Central District side. Centrals at this stage are just playing the ball, and they will reap the rewards in the long term.
Oh, it's a great game so far. It's got absolutely everything. There's niggling, there's arguing, there's 25-metre penalties, there's Smithfield crash moments. But RPH Football, the local football specialist, thanks to Angus Security.
Up goes the ball in the centre, and the ball down. Who's going to run onto it and comes here to Jimmy Gowns. He'll bring it out to Ware at centre wing on the grandstand side. So Elijah Ware now with the football for the doggies. He'll have, had Cochrane going past.
Oh, great kick.
Up, straight through the hands of Griffin. He should have marked that, running onto it. Marek, who got the handball over next to was Meiklejohn. They were trying to come through there and doing it superbly. However, was Baird. The handball comes loose, picked up now by Slattery. He throws it on the right boot towards half forward. It'll bounce awkwardly. First to it is Thomas. He got the trying to get the handball. Is that hanging onto the foot? He should have been holding the ball. In fact, he played the advantage, and Polton should run into the open goal. And he tried to steer it as well, and it went off the outside of the boat and through for the minor score.
When will they learn, DB? When will they learn? Wilson to bring the ball back in for the doggies.
Yes, and on the scoreboard, 3 goals, 5 the Pies. The doggies 1 goal, 3 on the Marble Bar scoreboard as the ball comes back into play to Hayes, and Hayes marks it in the defensive 50 for the doggies. He's got Cochrane running down this grandstand side. That's the way the kick will go. He's missed him completely and put it out of bounds on the sitting ball. And I tell you what, there's a few Smithfield crash playing it here today, and that was an absolute Barry Crocker.
It was indeed. So Slattery's got it just forward of centre wing, grandstand side, goes inboard looking for the leading Marek. Oh, that's a good mark. That's 25 metres as well. And Chad Davis is on in replacement of Kingsley, thanks to Stillwell thought it Medindi. Marek certainly letting him know in that accented voice of his that he wasn't too happy with it, and he's got a 25-metre penalty. He's within range, Darryl, but the angle is quite acute.
Yeah, the angle is quite acute, but again, an undisciplined act by Big Buckets McKenzie, and Marek will line up from around
Hayes.
Hayes, yep, was about 25 metres out, but on about a 60-degree angle, and he's in the Well, northwestern pocket here at the Alberton Oval, right in front of the newest stand. So Murrich, big Ivan Murrich, lining up now. Comes in, drop punts on its way. Has he kicked truly? It's fading away to the far side for another minor score. So Port Adelaide have kicked their 6 point. They go to 3 goals, 6-24. Central, 1 goal, 3-9. That is on the marble bar scoreboard. Grand Central tells us we played 29 minutes of this first quarter. You're on RPH Football with Paul Blandis.
So Thomas will kick it in now. He's got a loose player there in Swatala who's been good. He takes the mark and rebounds from 50 with a kick. Goes to the outer side looking for Westhoff of the L variety. Running onto it was O'Sullivan. He lifted the head at the wrong time there. One of the Gowns was involved. Had his head ripped off and he'll take a free kick. And that is Chris Gowns who's got it just inside the centre square. Locken involved again. So certainly pretty undisciplined today, Matthew Locken. That one was probably a little bit unfortuitous. And he goes inside 50 now to the loose as a goose. And Vindalou's got it. He's going to have a shot for goal, Darryl, probably from about 40 metres, angle of 45 degrees, right in front of the marble bar scoreboard.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? And there's Waterhouse standing back at half-back, all on his lonesome, and his opponent, or one of the opponents that has picked him up so far, is lining up at the other end, and Bradley Curry.
And he's the man he showed the footy to.
Exactly right. So Curry lining up, so to make the Magpies hurt, he needs to kick this goal. So Curry comes in now. He's just actually jabbed it as well, but it doesn't even make the distance, and it goes through for a touch over the line for a minor score. So Port Adelaide have got 1 goal, 4-10. They trail by 14 points. Port Adelaide at 3-6-24.
The ball brought into the outer side, running onto it. In fact, it's gone out of bounds without anyone touching it. Fair dinkum, there's been a few mistakes here. Another Smithfield crash clanger, and Jimmy Gowns has got the ball coming in towards Lee Westhoff. He'll pick it up offhand, kicks it around the body. They'll go in towards full forward. Oh, player pushed in the back. The umpire didn't even see it. It was Matty Slater got the fair dinkum hammer and tack shove as the ball will end up in the back pocket. Tommy Carr will kick the ball out, but again the doggies are in the van here. There's 2 against 1 in favour of them, of course. Now it's 3 against 1 as Justin Westhoff picks it up and bangs it to O'Sullivan. He's away. O'Sullivan goes high towards full forward, and it's gone straight through the high little for a goal to the doggies. They go to 2 goals, 4-16 on the marble bar scoreboard. The Magpies 3-6-24, courtesy of Black and White. Let's move it right around the ground.
In the AFL, it's Sydney by 9 points over Melbourne. The Eagles are 34 points clear of North. It's a draw at Noarlunga, 4 goals, 2 apiece to South and Nord. And at Unley, it's Glenelg by 18 points.
Okay, back here at Alberton Oval, marble bar scoreboard, 3-6-24, the Maggies, 2-4-16, the Doggies. You'd think it's almost wet with 5 goals, 10 being scored. Grand Central says we've gone 26.5 minutes. There's the ball up. Was Griffin getting first palm to it. It's been taken by Islet. He drops the footy and it gets a half a kick away that goes nowhere. The umpire will come in and it will be a repeat bounce.
Interesting to note that last goal that was scored by Sullivan was actually set up by Curry, as Waterhouse was still sitting back in the forward pocket, not picking up his man.
So it's spilled free after that second ball up to Butcher. He tried to have a kick at it. It was an airy, and Islet tried to pick it up. Gee, bodies are going in willy-nilly. Chris Gowns comes out of it, as you would expect, out of that contest. He does it beautifully. The left-footed kick will find Westhoff Elliott. In fact, it went straight through him. It's gone to James Gowns. He got a palm on beautifully. It picked up there by Swatala, I think it was. He handballs over O'Sullivan, pushed off the ball quite easily. Matthew King comes in, does one of those somersault rolls on the carpet, and there's a free kick for someone's being held here. So Slade has got a free kick. He's within range. You can hear the crowd. They're not happy. And he's probably going to kick for about 48 minutes. The angle is only slight. And Grand Central says we've gone about 28 minutes.
Yeah, Port Adelaide had most of the play, but couldn't really finish them off, could they? They've kicked 6 points. Now, all of a sudden, Slade's lining up from around about 48 metres out, virtually directly in front. They are kicking with a slight breeze, though, Central District. So here he comes from 49 metres. The kick is on its way. And has he kicked truly? Yes. He has. And the Doggies have got another one on the board. Slade has got his first, and Centrals have got their third. They go to 3 goals, 4-22. All of a sudden, guys, they're only 2 points behind. Port Adelaide 3-6-24 on the marble bar scoreboard, and Grand Central tells us we played 29 minutes of this first quarter, courtesy of Angus Securities, and it is a game and a half. Both sides at each other, both sides hard at the ball, and also both sides hard at the body, and it's great SNFL action on your local station, RPH.
Yes, Port Adelaide might rue those easy shots they had at goal and missed, and all of a sudden, as you heard Daryl Smith say, just 2 points in it. well into time on the Grand Central time clock as the umpire's about to thump the ball into the turf. Again, Griffin up against Micklejohn, the ball to ground. Who's going to be first there? Running got there was Polton. He couldn't do much with it though. Picking it up was Island. He'd lost a footy as well, but the Doggies have the opportunity here. They can bend down and pick it up. The player out there is Hayes, I think, right out there at centre wing, and the umpire will move in and ball it up centre wing on the outer side of the Alberton Oval. Good crowd in here this afternoon.
Great crowd.
Watching this terrific contest between two old foes. Down goes the bounce. Up they go. Griffin got the left hand of the ball. Couldn't control it much so because the picking it up was one of the Magpies there. I think it was Locken up towards half forward. Running onto it is Tipanala. He'll get the handball away. Looking out there for Swatala, but he couldn't control it and takes it over the boundary line for a throw in centre wing on the outer side.
The outer of Alberton Oval is looking superb. There's black and white T-shirts, there's black and white scarves, and there's red, white and blue out there as well. And the crowd approaching. One would have thought 4,000. Getting it down was Griffin. He gave it to Chris Gowns, who got the quick kick away. Got a lot of good distance from that. Did Chris Gowns. It's going to spill free to Thomas. He had it spent, but he goes off the carpet. Slade and also McCabe in pursuit there. Slade will provide some support. Does it well. Slade turns around. He's got O'Sullivan free. So O'Sullivan can run to 50 and unload to put the Doggies in front. He runs inside 50. O'Sullivan. The kick is good. And it's a nice-looking kick, but it missed. 3-5-23 Centrals. Port Adelaide 3-6-24. We've gone 31 minutes in the first term, and Carr's got it in the back pocket.
Yeah, from the boot of Archie. Now he goes for the short kick. Chris Gowns was there first as he forced it over the line. He has. And there'll be another boundary throw in left half forward flank outer side for the Doggies. So just 1 point in it after Port Adelaide had most of the play in the first half of this quarter. So it's a terrific contest. The ball comes spinning back into play. Griffin got a hand to it, but ends up with Carr again. The ball's gone straight up in the air. Tapped forward by McCabe, but that's clever. Out there is Baird. He's wrapped up by Lee Westhoff. Was he being hung on to? No, said the umpire. Kicked off the ground as the siren goes to end in enthralling first quarter of football here at the Alberton Oval. Port Adelaide leading by one solitary point on the marble bar scoreboard there. 3-6-24. The Doggies 3-5-23. Is at this stage just 1 point in it as the umpire holds the ball aloft to start the second quarter. The big men in the centre, of course, Marrick and Scholar. Down goes the bounce. Who's going to be first there? Scholar, and Marrick got the tap down. Straight down to Kingsley, who puts a high ball towards half forward. Backing back. Oh, player got shoved out. The Magpies. It'll be a free kick. No doubt about it. He came out of that pack at 100 miles an hour. It was Clayton. Didn't actually see who pushed him. Thomas is the player standing to mark, but whether Jeremy Clayton was pushed or whether he stayed, it doesn't matter. The umpire's paid the free kick, and he'll line up and give the Magpies a good start to this second quarter.
Well, if he kicks a goal, it'll be a great start. If he kicks a point, it'll be a better start if he kicks a goal. Clayton comes in now, leans back on it, and has kicked truly just the start that the Magpies wanted. What are you talking about, DB?
I did give him a good start to the quarter.
And he's got his first, and the Magpies have got their fourth. They got a 4-6-30. They lead Central District 3-5-23. That is on the marble bar scoreboard. Grand Central says we played 1 minute of this second quarter, and as you heard DB say, that is just the dream start that the Magpies wanted.
So you'd expect that you will see a very, very disciplined Port Adelaide outfit, a few undisciplined acts in that first quarter, especially by Locken and Jeremy Clayton, who, quite interesting, he's spending most of his time in the forward lines and has now kicked his first goal. So there's the throw-up. Didn't go up very high, but Marek got his palm to it. Kingsley trying to run onto it. Marek says, I'll go and get my own footy. Don't worry about that. It spills free. A Central's player in Elijah Ware's got it. The Noodle. He now goes at centre half forward. A player being held there by Chris Gowns. One would have thought by Locken. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Trying to pick it up. The ball is Luby. He tried to get bumped off it by Westhoff of the J variety, but Luby rebounds from 50 running onto it. Should be Butcher, but it bounces over his head. And now bounces back to air about that. He handballs to Kingsley. He's in the centre of Alberton Oval. The kick is a beauty. Looking for Clayton. Oh, he picked it up on the bounce inside 50. Clayton for his second in a minute. And he's missed. Gee, bad miss by Clayton. He did everything right. The pickup was outstanding. 4-7-31 the Maggies, and Centrals are 3-5-23. Minute and a half gone thanks to Grand Central.
Well, this is what they did in the first quarter, the Magpies. They missed some goals. They should have kicked and let Central back in as the ball is kicked out off hands of Mackenzie, taken by Scholar to O'Sullivan to Wilson, who's running through centre half back. Got the ball, still got the ball, taken off him though. The umpire's paid the Magpies' way. Comes to Polton, who goes to half forward. The turnover's costly. It's taken by Jeremy Clayton. There's Waterhouse again, all by himself, and he'll go back back and have a very important shot for the Magpies.
Yeah, the turnover costly there by the Central side, and again, Waterhouse standing back on his own and not chasing up Curry. And I just wonder whether Timmy Ginnivan and the coaching staff will be very happy with that. I mean, when the turnover comes, it's good, but if the turnover doesn't come and Central use the ball as they can, it could be very costly. But Waterhouse now lining up for his third goal, 25 metres out, 45-degree angle, kicking to the southern end here at the Alberton Oval. So Clive Waterhouse comes in now. Kick is on its way, and he has pushed it past the front of the goal and has kicked a minor score. So another point on the board, and these misses will be very costly if Central get up and win this game. 4 goals, 8-32 now, and Central's 3-5-23. That is on the Marble Bar scoreboard.
So Thomas, it is to relieve the pressure for Centrals, and this ensuing kick out now goes straight down the guts of Alberton Oval. Doesn't go to anyone in particular. Polton is wrapped up by Scholar around the chutney. One would have thought Wilson gets wrapped up very heavily in the tackle.
Over the shoulder.
Gee, I don't know about that. The umpires today, Rory Bowen, Chris Carey and Richard Fox. So Wilson, it is, plays on immediately. Sorry, it's Andrew Hayes, it is. He goes to that player in Wilson who's got it centre wing outer side, comes back inboard and finds Hayes, number 22. Running onto it is Kyle Jenner there, standing the mark. So they haven't really gone anywhere, the doggies. Hayes has now got Scholar, so 22-33. Go to 44. Johnny Platten, if he was around. Scholar, he now goes wide, and the player out there got it. Looks like Swatala out there. He takes the mark and plays on immediately. Kicks it up, looking for Adrian Wilson. He ran on. He's wrapped up in the tackle. Oh, he took them on. That's got to be holding the ball. Gee, took them on, ran into trouble, wrapped up by 2, and it's just outside a half forward for the doggies. And a good gang tackling by Port. It's been a feature today, but their kicking hasn't. 4-8-32 to 3-5-23 on the Marble Bar scoreboard.
Could have been holding the ball there. Tried to take him on, as you heard Paul Blander say. Didn't get through the tackle and should have been holding the ball.
There's another one.
Certainly had fire opportunity. That'll be a free kick to the Magpies. And as I said, these umpires have got to be spot on today, because this game can easily get out of hand as Butcher's got this free kick. And he'll drive the Magpies into attack inside 50. Clayton in front from behind. The ball thumped away by Curry down the ground. First there is Polton. Will spin around on it. No, he tried to get past, then puts it on the left boot. And he's found, is it Clayton in the pocket? And Clayton will go back and have a... No, it's not Clayton. Who is it? It's,
Adam Kingsley.
Adam Kingsley in the pocket, right in front of the Grand Central time clock, and he'll have another shot for goal. He kicked 1 goal, 2 thus far.
So Kingsley around about 40 metres out on that outer side of the ground here. Pretty tough angle for Kingsley, but he is a good kicker of the football. So Adam Kingsley coming in now. The kick is on its way, and he has pushed it through for a minor score. So could be costly misses for the Magpies here. They've got their 9th point, 4 goals, 9-33. They lead by 10 points, 3-5-23 on the Marble Bar scoreboard.
Well, that's 3 misses. That's 3 shots at goal that they could have easily kicked, the Magpies, as Thomas will put the ball to the outer side. The big pack will fly, and the ball thumped away by the Port Adelaide players. Come to Jenner. Jenner was just dragged as he got the kick away. Curry's pick up on the half volley was a beauty. He didn't look where he kicked, though. He just bombed it out towards centre wing. Luck may be a fortune, because Watala's going to run it out and bring back a handball inboard to Scholar. Scholar now at centre wing will go forward and chip it short. The lead is on from Hayes. Beautifully thumped away there by... I think it was Luby, and running onto it now is Elston for Port Adelaide. He'll go up towards half forward, out the back, Slattery. That's a good mark by Slattery. He's outside 50, immediately plays on. The lead is on now from Big Micklejohn. He just dropped what he should have taken, perhaps, as the handball comes back to Curry, and Curry will go to the outer side again. He didn't look, and that'll be a free kick, surely, to Port Adelaide, as getting rid of his opponent was Cochrane, and Slattery will go back and take the same shot that Kingsley had about, 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, right in front of the Marble Bar scoreboard, around it, probably a little bit further out than what Kingsley was. And now Slattery in front of the Marble Bar scoreboard, which says they have kicked 4-9. So had it been 9-4, what would have the game been like then? But Slattery, 10 points in front are the Magpies. In comes Slattery now. Will kick from around about 48 metres out. Kicks it long and low, but it's not going to make the distance. It's going to be touched over the line for a minor score. So another point on the board to the Magpies. They go to 4 goals, 10-34. They lead Central's 3-5-23. That is on the Marble Bar scoreboard. Grand Central time clock says we've played 6 minutes of this second quarter.
So Thomas it will be to kick the ball out to Curry. A little bit dazed after that collision. He looks like he's okay, but certainly signalling some discomfort towards the bench. And
there's a player coming off. Looks like it might be the blood rule.
Yep, it's Curry coming off, that's for certain. Number 48 for the doggies. So
he'll go through the Stillwell forward exchange gates, of course. And the player coming on for Central Districts for his first run of the day is Mussolino.
He's certainly a good player last week, young Chris Mussolino. Didn't have a whole stack of it. What he did certainly showed some polish and some poise. So Thomas just waiting. There's a congregation of players inside the southern inside 50. Jeremy Clayton trying to get stuck into Mussolino, as was Micklejohn, but he dodges round both of them. And Thomas will go straight down the guts. Gee, he's signalled that out beautifully, but only so far as Biaggi runs in. He has been a great player today for the Magpies, one of the three inclusions that have been good players. Kingsley, Waterhouse and Biaggi now. He'll go long inside 50. He'll be looking for Waterhouse from behind. He ran into the football, and it's going to be a rush behind. So 4:11.35, the Maggies. Central's a 3:5.23 on the Marble Bar scoreboard. And thanks to Grand Central, we've gone 8 minutes of the second term.
Yeah, again, Thomas to the outer side. This time he finds O'Sullivan, who runs out the over the fit to 50. Going to get caught. That's holding the footy. They're trying to do too much. The Doggies and the Magpies have got their measure at the moment. They're just not putting it on the scoreboard. And the free kick now out there, I think, in fact, a 25-metre penalty.
See, that is undisciplined. And is that Lockin that's got the ball, or is it...
No, it's O'Sullivan that was infringing there, and it's Eilert that's got the footy.
Got the ball, so he's going to come into... And there's a bit of action happening in front of the goal square too, with Clive Woodhouse and Jeremy Clayton. The Central District's player was pushed down, and he was trotting. I think it was Chris Gowns.
Mussolino, I think. You could see that something was going to happen when he ran onto the ground before.
So anyway, Eilert is going to come in right in front of the Marble Bar scoreboard. And, geez, they've managed a lot of points in this quarter. He comes in now. The kick is on its way. That one looks better. And that's a goal on the board. So Portela have got another one. Eilert's got his first. They've got their fifth. They go to 5 goals, 11-41. They're leading Central's 3-5-23 on the Marble Bar scoreboard. And courtesy of our good friends at Black and White Trucks and Removals, let's go back to the studio and get scores from all around the ground.
In the AFL, it's Sydney by 9 points over Melbourne. In the SANFL, it's the Eagles by 34 points. Over North, it's Nord by 16 points over South, and Sturt trail the Glenelg Football Club by 49 points at quarter time.
Okay, the ball about to be bounced in the centre. Coming on for Central District is Stengel. I didn't see who went off, though, in the Stillwell
O'Sullivan, I think, wasn't it?
O'Sullivan is running on it with Biaggi. The Pies are firing. The miss kick has hit Butcher on the chest, and it's also having a bit of dappy duck as well, as Butcher turns around and gives it to Lockin. Lockin goes over the top to Biaggi, who's run from that centre mark. Gives it back to Lockin. Lockin should kick. A goal. He goes bang, no, right on the line. It's touched by McKenzie, and through for the minor score to the Pies. They go to 5 goals, 12-42 on the Marble Bar scoreboard. The Doggies are stuck on 3 goals, 5-25.
So Thomas it is, brings the ball in. He's got a loose player there in 7-0 marks just inside his defensive 50. This game as a contest should be all over, but 5-12 means the Doggies are still well and truly in it. The margin 19 points thanks to the Marble Bar scoreboard. It's action on centre wing outer side. It's gone out of bounds right in front of a very packed outer indeed. So it'll be a boundary line throw-in.
How often do you see that one side has the momentum of the play and doesn't kick a lot of goals, and the other side will go straight down and kick a goal very, very quickly?
So what's going to transpire? There's Marek and Scholar. It was the boundary line throw-in was very good indeed. Getting the ball out beautifully. Port Adelaide, it came to Butcher. The handball away really didn't go to anyone indeed. Mussolino got pushed off at Kingsley, then says, thanks very much, I'll take it. He goes this way. That runs around three. That's holding the ball. And Central's here they go. Mussolino is involved. He gives now to the player in Ware. Ware comes inboard and has got Stengel. Number 14 takes the mark immediately. He's just outside centre half forward. Got pushed off the kick. What will happen here? Shell will run onto it on the bounce. Archie's in the van here. Running back onto it is Elston. Inside 50. Elston, he goes this way and that. Oh, good pressure by the Doggies indeed. Shell as well. Archie has got the Central's player over the shoulder. And James Gowns, that umpire, want to be careful when he goes back to his car playing free kicks that close to the fence. And James Gowns, Darryl will have a shot from about 45 metres. The angle is acute.
It certainly is. He, again, is in front of the northwestern stand here at the Alberton Oval. And we often say that with the Central District, Port Adelaide had all the play and kicked a lot of points, and all of a sudden it's gone down the other end, and Jimmy Gowns is lining up for goal. Around about 25 metres out, but as you heard Paul Glander say, a very acute angle.
Be interesting to see if he watched Big Marek kick his shot for goal, because the breeze took it across the face.
So he's really got to aim for the top of the left-hand goal post and let the breeze take it away to the right-hand side. So Jimmy Gowns coming in, an important kick on goal. And that's exactly what he does. Did it well, did Jimmy Gowns. What a goal. And that is a great kick. Centrals have got their first. He's got his first. Centrals have got their fourth. They go to 4 goals, 5-29. Port Adelaide 5-12-42. That is on the Marble Bar scoreboard. A little bit of action happening off the ball again too, and it looks like there might be a free kick being played. there is a free kick being paid to Port Adelaide. So goes to Jeremy Clayton in the centre of the ground, boys.
Yes, indeed. So Clayton plays on immediately. He's got a running Polton. He can mark it and play on here, Polton. He runs to 50 and he unloads. What's going to happen here? There's a contest in the square. Micklejohn pulling his opponent off the ball, I would have thought. But anyway, it's come off of a leg and it's come now to McCabe. McCabe will go backwards to the chicken vendor, Lou Curry. He comes wider and gives to Matthew Slade. He's been a quiet player this afternoon. He marks it right half back, goes inboard. Wilson's got it. He's got a loose man in Thomas. The kick's got to be spot on and is. Thomas, he feigned one way and now runs to centre wing, grandstand side. He comes inboard, Westhoff Jay. It's gone over his head. The mark, one would have thought, taken by Marek. He gives by hand to Lindsay Thomas recently on the ground. He goes upwards. Oh, reading it better was the Port player in Slattery. Running onto it, though, was Wilson, kicking it wide, and he's got Elijah Ware at half-back.
Yeah, Ware now with the footy will centre it to Thomas, who's right in the centre of the Alberton Oval. Tries to dodge past Biaggi. Now goes by hand. Gives it to Swatala. Back to Thomas. The lead is on from Chill. He's out in front with the kick. Just missed his target. This allows Archie to go for the safety of the boundary line, and out of bounds it goes right on the 50-metre arc for the doggies out there in front of the Alan Scott Power headquarters building. The boundary umpire will throw it back.
It's going to be the side that actually hits the targets here today that might win the game in the end, because some of the misses that have been happening are very, very ordinary.
Well, you're not wrong. Big thump by Marek, and Lux of Fortune ends up with Biaggi, who breaks away onto the left boot, goes up towards centre wing. Slattery in the back. Oh, that's a great play. A PDK highlight. He's away. Luke Slattery will run to the 50 and bomb a long shot. I mean, the kick is away. A goal to the five.
What did you say?
Graham John Cox here, is he?
Well, a goal on the board to the Magpies. They've got their 6. They go to 6 goals, 12, 48. They lead Central 4-5, 29 on the Marble Bar scoreboard. 21 points, 19 points in favour of the Magpies. The biggest lead of the game so far, and we've played 14 minutes of this second quarter, courtesy of Grand Central.
And Darryl, as a coach, you'd have to be happy with that, because the reply from Port Adelaide was almost instantaneous.
Yep, exactly right.
Slattery, the PDK highlight. Game on here, 6-12-48, 4-5-29 is the margin in favour of the Maggies, thanks to the Marble Bar in Weymouth Street. That'll be going off tonight, don't worry about that. And there's Marek getting involved in this ball up. Locken now in the centre, because he's running with Chris Gowan. So some interesting matchups today, and certainly the coaches are trying to outwit each other, and it's going along swimmingly for Port just at the moment. There's the secondary ball up, and he's running onto its Polton. He's been very good. You heard Daryl Smith say he needed to lift, and he has. There's a collision in the middle.
In the back.
And Chris Gowans has been paid a push in the back. He plays on immediately. Swatala it is. He's right in the centre of Alberton Oval. The kick was bullet-like inside 50. James Gowans will run onto it. The on low. Oh, Baird, the tackle was superb. Holding the ball against the doggies. And Baird will relieve the pressure from deep inside 50, number 10. Westhoff now skirts around him. Baird is surveying options. He's got a loose man. Carr, he was on his own for ages. He now takes the mark at centre half back. Rebounds from 50. The kick is touched. Marek picks it up. Oh, the sweeping handball to King. King can go overboard to a play there. Smithfield crash, because he went straight to Griffin. Oh, Griffin's gone. Smithfield crash again to Thomas. Centre wing out of side, and he's got a player on. Oh, it's almost another Smithfield crash clanger. Tommy Carr picks it up, and he's now got Locken. Locken has got a player out wide, and that player there looks like Luby, and he takes the mark centre wing out of side.
Yeah, certainly some mistakes here this afternoon, including by the commentators. I can assure you the Roosters are playing at Woodville. They're not here at the Alberton Oval this afternoon, as the free kick has been paid down ground. Something going on
25-metre penalty, I think.
No, there was wasn't a free kick against Chris Gowans and against Locken that time. So, and there was another 25-metre penalty. So, all happening here at the Angus Securities game today at the Alberton Oval.
Yes, and Luby has the footy, and he will kick from right on 50, Smitty.
Okay, kicking to the southern end. The aided with the breeze is Luby. Didn't see what the free kick was for or if it was a mark. But Luby comes in now from outside 50. The kick is on its way, and it's just gone off the side of the boot for another minus score on the board for the Magpies. That's their 13th. They go to 6 goals, 13. 49, they lead by 20 points, 4-5-29. That is the Central side on the Marble Bar scoreboard. And Paul Thomas to bring the ball back in on RPH football with Paul Blandis.
Okay, so Thomas, he's liking the outer side, and he likes it again. He's kicked it to a 50-50 contest. Marek did well. Richard Cochran ran onto it. Griffin now is involved. Oh, getting wrapped up in the tackle was Marek, and it'll be a ball up inside 50. And certainly Port Adelaide, one of the things, Darryl, they've come out and they've been aggressive right from the start.
They've been aggressive at the body and at the ball, which is good to see.
So there's the ball up inside 50 for the Maggies. Gee, getting up high was Butcher, slapping it down. Elston picks it up. I thought he would have gone on his natural left side, but goes backwards and finds Kingsley. Kingsley goes this way and that. They're going backwards in order to go forward, and Tommy Carr's got it. almost at centre wing on the outer side now. Tommy Carr, he's got a leading player there. Getting there first should be Slattery. The kick was magnificent by Tom Carr. PDK highlight the kick, and Slattery is certainly within range. There's been a few kicks that haven't gone the distance going to the southern end, but Slattery should probably put it pretty close, Darryl.
He certainly should. He's going to kick from virtually right on 50, Will Slattery, so he'll come in and now kicking to the southern end, which is aided by the breeze, or the scoreboard end here at the Alberton Oval. So in he comes now. It's been pretty good for the Magpies, has Luke Slattery. 52 metres out, the kick is on its way. It certainly looks a good kick off the boot. That's his second, and the Magpies have got their seventh. They go to 7 goals, 13, 55. They lead Central 4-5-29 on the Marble Bar scoreboard. Black and White Trucks and Removals will give us the scores back in the studio, courtesy of Michael Philippou.
In the AFL, it's Sydney by 20 points over Melbourne. The Eagles are 27 points clear of North Adelaide. South Adelaide trail Nord by 5 points, and Sturter on their knees at Unley Oval. Glenelga in front there by 61 points.
Yeah, what's going on down there at the bays? Hey?
Umpire throws the ball up in the centre. Big Griffin got a hand of the ball, but running onto it there was Stengel. He almost went without the footy, but then picked it up and bombed it towards half forward. Good work there by Locken, who pushed Jimmy down the other way, and the umpire will find a free kick. Will go the Magpies' way, and the mark will be taken for Port Apple. The free kick by Lindsay Thomas. And the second of the free kicks, in actual fact. So Thomas now will go to the outer side, and the mark taken there by Carr. He gets support now from Luby. Onto the left boot he goes now, out towards centre wing. The ball bounces and bounces just inside the line. Big Griffin is out there pushing the back. Was it against Griffin? No, the umpire said it was okay. And there'll be a boundary throw in centre wing on the outer side of the Alberton Oval.
Centrals need to get Buckets McKenzie up forward to give him a target up forward.
Okay, so here's the boundary line throw, and it is directly opposite the RPH commentary crew. Darryl Smith, Dennis Brown and Paul Blandis, 11:97 a.m. And there's the ball up. Running onto it was Clayton. Couldn't get his kick away, and it should be another ball up. Players involved. James Gowns, one of those. Alex Stengel involved. Daniel Elston, he's opposite number 14. And the umpire runs in and says it'll be another ball up. So Chad Davis going up, James Micklejohn going up. Looks like Chad Davis from the front. Taps it down to your player, ran back into trouble, and he's caught one too high, has he? No. It's going to be another ball up right in front of a packed outer, and that is fabulous to see at Alberton Oval. Conditions are nigh on perfect here this afternoon. So there's another ball up, and Micklejohn getting it half down to Stengel. He runs onto it, picks it up. He's wrapped up in the tackle. Did he cop one high?
Yep.
Yes, he did. So Stengel will relieve, and it's a 25-metre penalty. That's a bit silly from his opposite number 14 in Elston, and that brings him right up to, past centre now, Stengel, number 14. So Tommy Carr standing the mark. Stengel looking for options further afield, and gee, the delivery to Shell hasn't been good. I bet they'd like it now. So Stengel gets right onto it, kicks it deep inside 50. Shell's in the van here. He runs, he's had his second grab at it, couldn't quite take it. It's picked up by McCabe. He's inside 50. It gives it to the top of the square. It's 2-on-1 here. The Maggies, running into it was Jeremy Clayton. He goes backwards into trouble. He throws it away. Pele like into the square. It's going to be a rush behind. Tommy Carr almost took the post with him. It's a rush behind to the Doggies. 4-6-30.
Hit the post.
Okay, it hit the post. 4-6-30. The Maggies are 7-13-55. Polton kicks to centre wing, grandstand side, looking for and almost finding Jenner, and it will go out of bounds. No, it was Mussolino running onto it. He's got a loose player there, and that player is Swatala. Almost took a specky, and off he goes. He's looking for support, and he goes inboard now and finds Griffin.
Yeah, Griffin, the big fella's got the footy now for the Doggies. He'll chip it into the centre to McCabe. Haven't gained a lot as far as advantage towards goal, but there's a player out in Ware out there at half forward. He'll run inside 50, dodging past a player that wasn't even there. That's pretty clever. Comes back to Slade, who turns around the body and bangs it across the face for the minor score to the Doggies as they go to 4 goals, 7-31. Port Adelaide 7-13-55 on the Marble Bar scoreboard. The ball brought back into play, kicked into the pocket, and just getting there in time to take the mark is Baird. He gives it back to his teammate in Luby, who goes onto the left boot, out towards centre wing. Here's a chance now. Archie should run onto it. He does. Hotly tackled by Wilson, but gets away from that player. Then kicks a long bomb up towards full forward, and Waterhouse up and takes the mark.
It's a free kick downfield anyway.
Didn't matter because Waterhouse was always going to mark it. Trust me. Big mark by Clive Waterhouse, and he'll go back and line up for another shot at goal.
Okay, he's already kicked 2, has Waterhouse, lining up for his third. He's going to kick from directly in front. Will kick from probably right on 50 metres, Will Waterhouse. So, gee whiz, 13 points they have kicked so far. They've added 7 points in this quarter, and they've added 4 goals. So Waterhouse, a very important kick at this stage of the game. We've gone into time on of this second quarter on the Grand Central time clock. So Clive Waterhouse now from outside 50 comes in, just jabs at it again, and it has not got the accuracy and gone through for another minor score. So 14 points on the board, 7-14-60. They lead Central 4-7-31 on the Marble Bar scoreboard. Grand Central tells us we played 24 minutes of this second quarter. Thomas again to bring the ball back in.
So he again will go to the outer side. He's looking for options inboard, and Mussolino it is taking a good mark in front of the eyes.
He's been all right since he's been on.
He has indeed. He marks in front of Biarchi, who from mine is one of probably the best players on the ground, I would have thought. So Mussolino is deep in the back pocket, right in front of the Grand Central time clock. Says we've gone about 23 minutes of the second term. Marble Bar scoreboard 25 points in favour of the Maggies. Probably should be 50. And marking at half-back is Mackenzie for one of his few touches today. So Mackenzie standing the mark is Marek. Looked like he's waving at his family in the stands, but he's doing the best he can. Kicks to Marek's teammate, actually, and Jonathan Griffin, who marks at half-back. So they're not going anywhere in a hurry, the doggies, but they're certainly measuring it. There's some support provided by
They're stopping from Port Adelaide from having the ball. That's what they're trying to do at the moment.
Not for long, because it comes inboard. Clayton will run onto this. The hand pass came from a teammate. What's he going to do, Clayton? He's got inboard in Biarchi. Gee, he's been good. He had Lindsay Thomas, but it didn't matter because the support from Elston was great. He's in the centre. He goes long inside 50. They're on here. If Marek can run onto it, and does! Mark's about 15 metres out directly in front. He beat two doggies because he read the football better, Darryl.
Exactly right, but it was a great play again by the midfield of the Magpies. Jeremy Clayton getting involved again on that outer side. The turnover costly. Marek's now 15 metres out directly in front. Mackenzie just couldn't get back there. He'd read it better than anybody. So big Ivan Maric comes in now. He just two jabs at it, but he's actually jabbed at it correctly and has kicked his first. So Maric has got a goal on the board for the Magpies. They've got their 8. They go to 8 goals, 14 now. 62 leading Central 4-7, and that is on the Marble Bar scoreboard. Grand Central time clock tells us we played 25 minutes of this second quarter.
Yeah, playing much the better footy at the moment, the Pies, and should be a lot further in front than they are. Just poor kicking has kept the doggies in the game at this stage, if you can say they're still in the game, because at the minute they're just not playing anywhere near the footy that the Magpies are playing.
Kick the last 3, the Maggies.
Umpire with the ball to bounce it in the centre. Down she goes. Griffin and Marek got the hand down, tap down, immediately running onto it.
Free kick downfield.
Go downfield, and don't know what that was for.
Yeah, hit him after he got rid of the ball, so that's down the field.
Thanks to our sponsors, Tontine, that was.
Yeah, so Jimmy Gowns now with the footy will go out to the lead of Shell, who this time gets away from Archie, but still can't take the mark. It's a very awkward attempt to mark, and the handball comes back here to Micklejohn, I think it was. He's wrapped up, loses the footy. It's on the half-forward flank. The ball spills loose. Going in there hard there was Stengel. He got the handball to Big Shell, who gives it now to Wilson. Wilson on the left boot into the pocket. Running back is Elton, and Jimmy Gowns almost to mark off hand, so Baird tries to fumble it forward and does it superbly. Gives it to Tommy Carr. The Magpies are away again. Polton's at centre wing. If he can run onto it, he'll get the handball over. Will he? Should threw the ball away. The umpire's allowed to play on. Lux a fortune, and this will allow Baird to pick up the footy. In fact, Butcher now on the right boot to the lead there of Waterhouse and takes the mark. And Waterhouse player back here holding his head, and that's Wilson as Waterhouse bombs the kick. And that's the worst kick you've ever seen in your life. A Smithfield crash clanger. He put it out on the sitting bull. He missed the target by metres and metres. As coming back now as Cochrane will go to the outer side, and Elijah Ware takes the mark for the doggies.
Right in front of the Grand Central time clock, 27 minutes gone, quarter 2, and he kicks and finds Slade at half-back, but not without some attention from Matthew King. He did well in the 50-50 contest. That's a PDK highlight by the Maggies, and that forward foray by Port Adelaide, the kick from Butcher was fantastic. The attack on the footy by Tom Carr, centre wing grandstand side, was also a PDK highlight. Grand Central time clock approaching 28.5 minutes. The margin is 31 points. The Magpies have doubled the Bulldogs score here at Alberton. So Griffin ends up getting a free possession and gives it by hand to Ware. The Noodle kicks it to centre wing outer side. This is going to be a foot race. Picking it up is Stengel. He's been good since he's come on. He's certainly provided a presence, no question about that. One of the Gowns boys has got it and kicks and finds Shaw, who takes one of his rare marks this afternoon. Centre wing outer side. So he's going to unload from centre wing outer side and go inside 50. Running onto it was the player there, but it's going to bounce back in Port Adelaide's favour. Butcher's run onto it. He's got a player upfield, but he's missed him. It's going to go past him. Jenner's picked it up. He can run to 50. Kyle Jenner, he has a bounce. He's at 50 now. He can unload now from about 45. Jenner, and he misses. machine. Port Adelaide 8:15.63. The Doggies 4:7.31. 29 minutes gone.
These misses can be very costly, DB, at the end of the day.
Well, they might be, but they're not just playing well enough at the moment, and everything's going Port Adelaide's way. They're making it happen for them as the ball is at half back on the outer side with Ware. He'll throw it on the right boot up towards centre wing. The whistle's gone again.
Free kick downfield.
And a 25-metre penalty, I think.
Got no idea what that was for again. I don't think most people do. What was that one for, Smitty?
Oh, it must have been Archie going over the mark or talking to, mouthing off. But anyway, it's come into Curry in the centre of the ground.
Yeah, Curry now with the footy. No one on the mark. Well, now Waterhouse has decided to take the stand on the mark. He goes into the pocket. Players will set themselves in front. Almost shell off hands there. The Pies will run onto it again. Troopy Archie gives it into the centre to Carr, who goes onto the left boot. Back to might have been Thomas, the long lead. And the mark taken by Marek. He'll go back and have another shot for goal.
Yeah, too far out for mine to score, big Ivan Marek, but he's going to kick from around about 52 metres out as we see our Stillwell forward interchange coming up, and the player coming on is Davis, and we'll get the player coming off is Kingsley. But Marek comes in now, has kicked up. It's not going to make the distance. Over the back there, trying to take a mark was a Port Adelaide player. He couldn't do so, and it's gone through for another minor score. So Port Adelaide have got their 16th point on the board. 8 goals, 16-64. They still lead Central 4-7-31 on the marble bar scoreboard, as Wilson is going to be the player to bring the ball back in for the Doggies.
So they're manning up well, Port Adelaide. Wilson hasn't got an option, so he goes straight down the guts. But gee, it's 3 on 1. Davis backs back, takes a very good mark. He is dead set at centre-half forward, Chad Davis, and I think he can probably make the distance. Darragh looks like he's going to have a shot directly in front.
Well, what it started will be for him today. He's just come on the ground. He's taken a mark, and he's going to kick from around about 50 metres. So in he comes now. Kicks on its way. Hasn't got the distance. Going to be touched on the line, has it? No, it's gone back in the goal square. 4 or 5 players dominant. Wilson's tackled the player there, and it's a free kick again coming back to the Doggies.
Richard Cochran it is. He kicks right from the goal square, almost like a behind was scored. He's got a loose player in Swatala in front of the marble bar scoreboard. He rebounds from 50 with a bounce. 33 points to margin. Gee, he ran a long way. He ran too far, I would have thought, but anyway, he got away with it. It's gone to centre wing. Out of sight, they've had trouble getting past centre wing. The Doggies, it comes in board to Clayton. Clayton, the kick will be good. Oh, Marek has been great. He takes the mark for a big man, plays on. He's got Polton who can unload from inside 50. Takes on a player there. He's going to have a shot for goal now. And you can see it's almost there. It's a goal to the Maggies. Polton's got his first. Oh, the Maggies 9:16. 30 minutes gone thanks to Grand Central. 9:16.70. The Doggies 4:7.31 thanks to the marble bar scoreboard. That's in Weymouth Street thanks to Black and White Trucks and Removals. Scores with Michael Filippo.
In the AFL, it's Sydney by 28 points over Melbourne. In the SANFL, the Eagles are 32 points clear of North. South Adelaide trail Nord by 3 points, and Sturt are 52 points down against Glenelg.
Umpire with the footy to ball it up and start the game again. The Pies have opened up a pretty big break. They should be further ahead though, as up they go. Micklejohn got the right hand tap, tapped on by Griffin. Running onto it was Tommy Carr. He was hung onto by one arm, but the umpire said there'll be another ball up in the centre. 9:16.70 the Magpies on the marble bar scoreboard. The Doggies are 4:7.31. Up she goes again. Griffin got a left hand of the ball, and there'll be another free kick. The umpire way out here at half forward. Gee whiz, there's been some strange things happening here today.
Yeah, there's Locken again involved. He actually is a player that threw McCabe out of that competition. So good umpiring there by the umpire.
Okay, he goes forward. Archie almost to one hand. It would have been a fantastic mark if he'd have pulled it off. There's a Port Adelaide player who wanted the ball and desperately, and that was King, and he's been awarded the free kick by the umpire. So King in the defensive 50 for the Port Adelaide side. Will come nobody on the mark. The Doggies just haven't got it at the minute as the high ball comes up towards the centre. Hand beautifully read by Davis. He throws it on the right boot up towards the half-forward flank. That's a great mark by Waterhouse. No, not paid by the umpire. Gee whiz, I thought he came down with it, boys. As the Thomas now, he's in trouble. The handball by McCabe ends up here with Mussolino. He'll go short, and the mark taken there by Wilson, centre wing, right in front of the RPH commentary team. Gee whiz, that was definitely a mark to Waterhouse. I thought he controlled the footy.
He certainly stopped the footy dead. And that's what their definition of a mark is if you hold it and stop it dead, it's your mark. So
obviously the umpire was unsighted as Wilson now bangs it up towards half-forward. Big Griffin should hang on to it, but they're not hanging on to their marks today, the Doggies. And again, the Magpies force the error and the ball out of bounds. Left half-forward flank on the grandstand side for the Doggies. The ball comes spinning back into play. Griffin and at the back. And
free kick to Griffin.
Free kick against Nickel John. Goes to Griffin, who immediately plays on. Gives it to Hayes. Hayes gets support now from Wilson. Wilson goes short. And again, a poor kick by the Doggies. Their options are all wrong today. The kicking's letting them down. This will let the Pies back in as a mark taken by Davis as the siren goes. That's a half of football the Doggies would want to forget. At half-time, the Magpies lead 9-16-70 on the Marble Bar scoreboard. Central District, 4 goals, 7-31. And Big Mackenzie's actually, I think, gone into the forward line. Not sure whether he is at 10.5 forward or in the pocket. The umpire holds the ball aloft to start the third quarter. The Magpies in charge by 39 points at the moment. Up they go. Scholar and Marek. The ball straight down. Running onto it immediately was Swatala. Around the body he goes. Up towards half forward. Coming out though is Baird. Beautifully done by Baird to Marek. Back to Baird it goes. He'll go up towards half forward. And he got rid of the ball and was tackled. But gee whiz, that's pretty ordinary actually, because now Port Adelaide have got the ball out at centre wing on the outer side. There was nothing in that, Smitty, honestly.
No, exactly right.
And Polton's now got the free kick backward of centre wing. He'll go short and finds King, who was unmanned. Slade was the culprit there for the Doggies. So the high ball now, that'll bring rain if nothing else. Players will set themselves. The Doggies should mark it. No, they don't. They went up against each other. A player for Port Adelaide grabbed the ball. He was dragged to ground inside the 50, and there'll be a ball up in that spot. 10.5 forward for the Magpies.
Yeah, Shell at full forward. Mackenzie at centre-half forward, boys.
Okay, so it's deep inside the attacking 50 for Port Adelaide. There's a bounce now. It's not a bad one either. Both ruckmen were holding each other, so it was play on. It's picked up by a Port player in there. It was Kingsley. He got a handball out, but running onto it was Curry. He grabbed too high. Yes, said the umpire, gee, just around the shoulders is not too high. But anyway, the free kick will be paid to Centrals. And the Rogan Gosh, Curry goes by hand to McCabe. McCabe rebounds from 50 with the kick and finds Sibanaler. He marks on the defensive side of centre wing. On the outer side, he goes with the kick. She getting involved there, possibly being held was the Centrals player. Running onto it was Islet. He actually went without the footy. It's wrapped up now. Mackenzie has got a Port player in a bear hug right on the 50. And the umpire will come in now and ball it up in front of the Marble Bar scoreboard. 9-16-70, 4-7-31. No change to the half-time score. About a minute and a half into the third quarter, I beg your pardon. It spills free to Tom Cargy. Well done by Chris Gowns. He gave by hand to his brother, I think it was, and he's wrapped up in a tackle. So it actually has gone about 2 metres to the left and come back again. It'll be another ball up. You're an RPH football, the local football specialist with Dennis Brown. Umpire
throws the ball up just outside the 50 for the Doggies. Big Scholar got the right hand tap down, trying to run onto it was Slade. In there also for Port Adelaide was Carr. The ball out there to Locken, who kick it off the ground. Straight to the boundary goes Matty Locken, and out of bounds it goes right in front of the Marble Bar scoreboard. There's no change, as you heard Paul Blanders say, to that half-time score. 9-16-70 on the Marble Bar scoreboard. The Doggies 4-7-31. Running onto it there was the Slade. The smother was effective though. Comes to Polton. Goes one way then the other. A sweeping handball to Carr. He taps it on cleverly to Locken. Locken with an underground handball looking for Butcher, but his handball's gone astray. This will allow the Doggies to come in. Breaking through. Player there. Great tackle on, I think it was Jimmy Gowns. The ball spills loose. The Magpies in the van again. And the pressure's really increased in this quarter. Players can't get away with the footy as it's right on the boundary line. Players are diving in with the Gay abandoned off the boot. Comes back to Marek. That was a touch of luck. And away go the Magpies. The luck's continuing this quarter up towards half forward. It breaks Latry. That's a PDK highlight. Immediately plays on. Gets it over to his teammate there. That may have been Jenner, I think it was. Back it comes now to Kingsley. Gets the handball back to Butcher. Butcher on the right boot. The lead is on. The ball tapped away by Sibanaler to the boundary line for a throw in. Half forward flank out of side for the Magpies.
So exciting build up by the Maggies right in front of the souvenir caravan for the Maggies. That'll be going ballistic this afternoon if the Maggies win and retain their spot in the top 5. That's what's on offer for Port Adelaide. Third spot is in jeopardy for the Doggies if they lose. The tap down went to Jenner. He gave by hand. I think it was to the player in Kingsley. Kicks inside 50. Clayton's involved. Running onto it is Slater. He's in the open goal square. The Maggies have got their 10-16-76. They've kicked the last 5 goals of the afternoon. Slattery's got 3. 10-16-70. 4-7-31 are the Doggies, and that is thanks to the Marble Bar scoreboard. There's 3.5 minutes gone of this third quarter.
That's been the difference of the game so far. Every time the ball's gone to a competition, the Magpies have had 2 or 3 runners, and Slattery there read it better than anybody, picked it up truly and ran virtually to the goal line. And the crumbing of the Magpies today has been absolutely outstanding. whereas Central Districts today have been very, very ordinary. So they have increased their lead now to 45 points, the biggest lead of the day so far, and it's in favour of the Magpies.
Exactly right. The umpire will throw the ball up. Scholar went up before acceptances. Marek was allowed to tap it down to Kingsley, who breaks free in the centre. The long bomb inside the 50. Waterhouse has got free and takes the mark. And Clive Waterhouse will go back and kick from about 30, 35 metres directly in front.
He certainly will. A great PDK highlight mark there. You can just see he had his name written all over that. Got rid of Curry very easily and then stood tall and took the mark. And he's going to line up from around about 40 metres out. How many points did he kick so far today, Paul?
Clive Waterhouse, 2.
2. So he's got 2-2 thus far.
And one out of bounds on the John Bull.
Yeah, he has 2. So, and he comes from 40 metres out, virtually directly in front. Comes in now, jabs at that one, and has he kicked truly this time? Yep. He has, and he's got his third, and Port Adelaide has got a great start to this premiership quarter. They've got 11 goals, 16, 82 to a shell-shocked Central Districts, 4-7-31 on the marble bar scoreboard. Grand Central tells us we played 5 minutes of this third quarter, and let's quickly go back to the studio, get scores from Michael, courtesy of a Black and White Trucks and Removals.
In the AFL, it's Sydney by 26 points over Melbourne late in the last term. And at Subiaco, the West Coast Eagles are 18 points clear of the Kangaroos. The Eagles are now 42 points in front of North Adelaide in the third term. South Adelaide trail Nord by 21 points and Sturt are trailing Glenelg by 47 points.
So Slattery's got it on centre wing for the Magpies. He goes inside 50. Waterhouse with the fly! Has taken a very good mark from behind. He was second in line. And he's going to unload from outside 50. Distance won't be a problem.
Yeah, go back and do the taunt.
Oh, the taunt.
Clive Waterhouse from 52 metres out. He's actually got the drop punt. The kick is on its way, and it's gone out of bounds on the full. And that's a Smithfield crash banger after a PDK highlight mark.
Second time he's done that. He's got one at each end, Clive Waterhouse. So the Magpies, 11-16, 82. Centrals, 4-7-31. 28 goals last week and only 4 to 5 minutes of the third term, thanks to Grand Central, and it is Adrian Wilson right deep in the back pocket. He goes to the outer side. They don't like the members today. Getting in front was Marek. Didn't read it well that time. Biarchi ran onto it. Oh, fantastic work. The handball didn't hit Butcher. He runs onto it now, and he goes inside 50. Butcher, I don't know if it was him, but anyway, we'll pretend it was. It goes inside 50. Sibonala it was. He rebounds from 50 with the handball. Is terrible. Kingsley handballs over to Biarchi, who can unload from outside 50. He goes inboard by hand. It's Jeremy Clayton on the boundary line. Has a putt shot. Jeremy Clayton. Oh, goal of the day. No, it hasn't gone through. Or has it?
No, missed everything. It's gone through for a minor score. So missed everything and went through for a minor score. So another point on the board. 11-17 now, the Magpies. 4-7 are the Central side as Thomas comes to the grandstand side. This time looking for Ware.
Yes, and the ball should sit for him. It will. So Elijah Ware now has the ball at centre wing, being chased by Adam Kingsley. Coming out to meet him was McKenzie, but he needn't have worried because Ware was facing away from his opponent. That consequently, there's 2 Magpies in defence. One of those is Tommy Carr. Gets it over to Matty Lockham. Lockham, look at that for a pinpoint plate kick. Bounces in front of Luby, who throws it on the left boot now towards the half-back flank. First there will be Kingsley. He'll turn around and bomb it to Butcher. Butcher now with the ball. He'll go back. He thought about playing on, and Gowns will get a 25-metre penalty against the umpire because he's infringed over the mark. And the umpire, I'm not too sure whether Jimmy Gowns could hear him in actual fact.
Yeah, but the umpire was calling him. He blew his whistle a couple of times, but Jimmy Gowns did not move back one step.
Okay, so the lead is on again from Waterhouse in front. That'll be a push in the back with an umpire. No, he's got his hands up, shielding it from the sun, so he couldn't see. As it comes to Slade now, Slade will immediately play on towards centre wing. He's looking out there for O'Sullivan. Good use of the body by Polton, almost took the mark. Sullivan runs onto the footy. He's got 3 Magpies to beat and gets a handball into Scholar. Scholar now will bomb it inside the 50. Here's a chance for McCabe, and McCabe, oh, that'll be a 25-metre penalty against Carr, and McCabe will go straight to the goal front, and the Magpies don't want to start doing silly things like this,
Exactly right, because it's gone from a doubtful kick from McCabe to a dead certainty now, so he's going to take him right to the top of the goal square, and he's going to be 10 metres out directly in front. So McCabe, and he has already kicked 1 goal. He's going to go back and kick his second now. So in he comes, and McCabe has kicked his second, and the Central side have finally got a goal on the ball. They've got their 5th. They've got a 5-goal 7, 37 on the Marble Bar scoreboard. Still trailing Port at 11-17, 83, and Grand Central tells us we've played 9 minutes of this third quarter.
Angus Security's game of the day has certainly been all Port Adelaide, and just you wonder what Tom Carr was thinking, or perhaps not thinking. Giveaway goal, and well, you don't need to be doing that. You're 51 points in front. You're the best part of 9 goals, and you just give the doggies a sniff, and you know what can happen. The last year's premiers. So there's the ball up in the centre. Jeremy Clayton did that with class. Gave by hand to John Baird. It was. He got the kick away, but only so far as west off of the L variety. Goes by hand to McCabe. I think it was O'Sullivan. He's going to be cleaned up by Marek. Not before he got the kick away, and Marek pulled away anyway. The kick to Shell is a beauty, and he marks in front of the Grand Central time clock, which says we've gone 9 minutes of the third quarter. 46 points the margin to the Magpies, thanks to the Marble Bar scoreboard.
Yeah, Shell needs to kick this to just give the doggies a little bit of a sniff, but he's very deep in that forward pocket.
I asked why did he lead into that pocket when he could have led out here to the half-forward flank. There was no one here, Smitty.
Okay, Shell right under the Grand Central time clock. 9 minutes gone on that. Shell comes in first shot on goal, first ping on goal, but he has kicked it past the face of the goal and has gone through for a minor score. 5-8, now 38. That is the Central District side, trailing the Magpies 11-17.
Yeah, look, the doggies' options have been all wrong this afternoon. There's no doubt about that. And Port Adelaide are capitalising as the ball is kicked into the back pocket to Biarchi. He'll go back across the goal to Butcher. Butcher's in the other back pocket, so they've transferred the footy from one pocket to the other. Butcher now hanging onto the footy. He'll be called to play on, and now he does as he bangs it out to that half-back flank. That's not a bad-looking kick. Looking for Luby. The ball bounces straight back into his hand. It's the Magpies, David. Ain't no doubt about it. As the ball there almost taken by Biarchi. He loses the footy, comes now to Swatala. The turnover will be costly because McCabe's out there at centre wing all by himself and takes the mark. But immediately they've picked up their opponents, have the Pies. The ball comes into the centre to Swatala. He bombs it very high. Shell has got the chance to go up and take the mark. But Jeremy Clayton, the PDK highlight at the back. A beauty. Took the mark. Handballs to Butcher. Butcher now to Biarchi. Biarchi's got the ball. Half-back. Got time to have a couple of bounces. He'll have 3 bounces. He's still got the footy. And then bombs it towards half-forward. Not a bad-looking kick. And almost a good mark there to Jenna. Couldn't hang on to it. Big scholar comes through. Jenna doing a fantastic job. Out comes Tibanama. Yves Tibanama gives it to O'Sullivan. Oh, got out of it beautifully. A PDK highlight as he back-turned out of trouble. O'Sullivan's running with the footy. He's in the centre. I'll tell you what, the big man did a big job chasing him in Meiklejohn. Up towards the half-forward off Hanzo. Beautifully read by Slade. Slade to McCabe. McCabe over to Justin Westhoff. He went to chip it short. The smother was a beauty. The Magpies are playing like champions here today. And then all of a sudden the free kick will go to the Magpies. Over the shoulder to the umpire as the Pies will bring it to centre wing. And the mark will be taken by Cameron Abbott.
So Eilert plays on immediately. He's got an option in Marek. The big men for Port have been superb today. Bounces again in Port's favour. Marek on the run. He's got the loose man in Polton, who marks right on 50 in front of Westhoff of the lever rider. He can unload Polton. He's going to measure the kick though. He's got a man in board now. The leading Waterhouse takes it. And he will have a shot for goal, or 20 metres, 25 maybe. The angle is acute. He plays on now to Clive. He kicks it over the shoulder. It's curling round. Oh, he's missed. Goodness me. So another behind to the Maggies, 11-18-84 to 5-8-38. I actually thought it went through from this angle. And
the ball never went the other side of the post. So I'm amazed.
Smithfield Crash Klinger.
I thought that
the ball did not go the other side of the post. There you go.
Well, I was going to call it as a goal, but anyway, Stratala's got it from that goal that was called behind O'Sullivan. Mark rebounded from 50, kicks to centre wing out of sight, Locken in pursuit of Chris Gowns, who's got the footy. Chris Gowns goes by hand. He's got inboard. I think that's Stengel freshly on the ground. He's looking for options. Marek is running at him, but Stengel goes inside 50. Archie's in the van here, but Baird comes from the side. Gee, did that well. Wraps up Slade. Great contest by the Maggies. Their pressure this afternoon, Darryl, has been outstanding.
The pressure applied has been fantastic. Not only to the player with the ball, but to the ones who are going to receive the ball have been absolutely superb.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm going to go and get my eyesight checked after that last goal by Waterhouse. It was given a point as Stengel runs onto the footy. Comes to O'Sullivan. He'll chip it towards half-forward. Ware's in the van. And Elijah Ware, he's got a player in the pocket if he can get it there. Oh, too long, Elijah. Gee whiz.
Well, he's got to go back and kick the goal now to Elijah Ware. He's going to kick from around about 50 metres. And he needs to kick the goal because he did have, I think it was Thomas on his own in the pocket. So Elijah Ware now comes in, kicks. He's kicked it nice and straight, but has it got the distance? No, it's just chipped the post, and another point on the board for the Central side. They now go to 5-9. That is 39, trailing the Port Adelaide side 11 goals, 18-84. That's on the Marble Bar scoreboard.
Again, the wrong option there by the doggy.
Yeah, was too.
As the ball to be brought back into play. Booming kick comes straight down the centre. Polton's in the van. The ball thumped away. Running onto it was Chris Gowns. The handball's a beauty to Stengel. Stengel goes bang from about 45 metres.
Great play.
Through. The doggies perhaps not finished, but by gee, they've got a big leeway to make up. They go to 6 goals 9. That's 45 on the Marble Bar scoreboard. Port Adelaide 11-18, 84 first goal to young Stengel.
Yeah, it was a great play there by Westhoff to spoil that ball. Punched it back forward, and Jimmy Gowns picked it up, gave it to Stengel, who then ran to the inside 50 and kicked long for his first goal. A great play by the Central Districts players.
I know the Gowns boys are hard to pick up, but that was actually Chris Gowns.
Chris Gowns, okay.
So they do look alike, don't they?
Just a little bit. The ball's back in the centre. The umpire looks like he's going to bounce it. Bathed in sunshine, Alberton Oval is superb. The Angus Securities game of the day, and the bounce is a beauty. If anything, slightly favours the doggies, but only just if that's being critical. Scholar got it down. O'Sullivan fell over as he went for the footy, trying to get the ball out. Oh, Marek did it superbly for a big man. He kicks it. Slattery, a free kick back here to the doggies.
Free kick to Sullivan from over the shoulder from Eilert.
O'Sullivan, so the free kick against Eilert. So O'Sullivan is going to kick from right inside the centre square. Gee, he's got a loose man in Scholar. That's not good at all. Scholar takes the mark. Goes round Slattery. Scholar from outside 50 will miss, and it goes to the near side. So the Marble Bar scoreboard sees Port Adelaide with 29 scoring shots, 11-18, 84, and 6-10 the doggies, 46. Grand Central says we've gone 15 minutes of the third term here at Alberton. The Magpies are going to the northern end and the doggies to the southern end. Tommy Carr plays on. And sorry, it's Luby, I beg your pardon, and finds Elston in the back pocket, who will come back and find Luby in the goal square.
Exactly. So have another shot, Timmy boy, and he'll bring the ball out to the grandstand side this time, looking for Slattery, who goes up, takes the mark, and there's a free kick paid with advantage. That goes the way of the Magpies. He gets it over to Biarchi, who loves to run and have a bounce. He's done that. The lead is on this. Magpies everywhere. Somebody's opened the bird cage, and first there is Clive Waterhouse, and he'll go back and have another shot for goal.
And he certainly will. A great kick and a great lead by Waterhouse. Two players could have had that. One was Polton, the other one was Waterhouse. So Waterhouse now going back to a line-up. He's already kicked 3-2, I think, or 3-3. The 3-3, but he's had a couple of out-of-bounds on the full too, DB.
3-3 he's kicked.
He's an amazing player. When he's good, he's very good. When he's bad, he's shocking.
Okay, so Waterhouse kicking to the northern end as he comes in now to give that Magpies that little bit of buffer. Kicks from right on 50. This time it's not going to, it's certainly not, hasn't got the accuracy. Another point on the board to Waterhouse. So it is now 11 goals and 19, 85. They lead by 40 points over the
whistle's
central
gone again.
side.
What's happened here?
Blood rule, I think, is it? No?
No, it's coming, well, no, it's coming out to centre half forward, is it? That's
no.
free kick.
No one's got any idea what's going on in RPH football at the moment, including us up here in the commentary box. Goodness me, the kick by Swatala was good. Thomas will run onto it. The ball's travelled 75 metres. Thomas with a kick to Ware is good. He gets it on the second chance. Ware will go inside 50. The lead is by McCabe. It'll go out of bounds. Well, no, it won't, because the boundary umpire's back here at half-back. McCabe's taken it right in front of the bowling club. The boys are letting him know what their preference is, and it's certainly not Luke McCabe having a shot for goal. So McCabe will unload from outside 50. It's too far out from McCabe. If he kicks it, it'll be a miracle goal, but he's going to go wide, and Thomas takes the mark outside 50. So, paying attention, Biarchi wasn't. Thomas unloads from outside 50. Coming in from the side with the Maggie supporters. Running onto it in the goal square is a Central's player. I think it was Shell. And he kicks his second behind for the afternoon. So Marble Bar scoreboard 11-19 to 6-11.
Just found out what that decision was back here at centre half forward. It was the umpire checking for blood rule, but decided there was no blood to be seen.
Okay, so the ball kicked out of the back pocket, and the mark has been affected by Tommy Carr. Immediately plays on, gives it to Davis further afield. And he's still at half-back, in actual fact. Now will kick into the centre. Not a good kick. He's picked out Griffin. That's a Smithfield crash clanger. He gets the handball to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan chips short now to Bucket McKenzie, who drops an absolute centre. Another Smithfield crash. But he goes and gives the ball to McCabe into Wilson. Dodges one way, then the other. Gives it to Ware. Ware now. What will he do? He goes short. Beautiful kick. PDK highlighter. And the mark taken there by Evil Roy Slade.
I'll tell you what, Central side are starting to come now. They're starting to run on with their players, and Port Adelaide have to be very careful here. Slade.
Not an easy shot for goal, the way that wind's blowing, though.
He's in the bowling green pocket here at the Alberton Oval, and 18 minutes gone courtesy of Grand Central, and Slade has kicked across the face of the goal. And has it made the distance? No, it hasn't. It's gone out of bounds on the full, so no score there at all, and Archie will bring the ball back in for the Magpies.
So Corey Archie has been an outstanding player for Port this afternoon. Really plays a bad game He's got the number 43 on and the blue boots, if you don't mind, Archie, right next to the behind post. He's kicked it and found Davis, who marks under the marble bar scoreboard. 38 points the margin in favour of Port Adelaide. So the doggies are coming, and the Magpies are withstanding that just at the moment. So Davis, with that kick, rebounds from defensive 50, goes to centre wing out of side. O'Sullivan positioned himself beautifully and marked in front of his Port Adelaide, well, behind his Port Adelaide opponent. Kicks it back in board. Is it a free downfield or something back here?
Well, there's got to be something, because the umpire's blown the whistle and run to an altercation.
Free kick downfield to the doggies. Undisciplined play again by the Magpies.
And look who's got it. Daniel Shell will have a shot for goal.
Okay, so Shell will line up, and the umpires are coming down to adjudicate what's going on, and gives the ball to Shell. And that player who gave the ball to him was Tommy Carr. So undisciplined stuff again, DB.
Okay, I've never seen so many off-field decisions, have you? I mean, off-ball decisions, I should say.
There's still things going on. They're arguing, well, who's going to take the free kick? So Shell's got the ball now. The umpire wants to take it off him, and it's going to be a bounce up. Can you believe that? That is... Well, how can they possibly do that? Unbelievable. This
is a disgrace. There's a bounce inside 50. No one's got any idea what's going on. In particular, the three blokes that are meant to be umpires. They're masquerading. We've got some criminals here. It's picked up by Slade. He kicks it up in the air. It's inside forward 50 for Port Adelaide. Running onto it. Clayton, what a mark! PDK, he ran into a teammate, but he had traffic coming from all directions, and Mark's in the back pocket. He plays on immediately. The kick wasn't good. Chad Davis running onto it. He's pushed in the back as he handballed it away. The umpire was close enough there to kiss him and still didn't pay it. There is the kick now outside of the defensive 50 for the Maggies, and it's been taken by the player in Hayes, I think it is. He comes across board, and it will find where. It won't get to him on the bounce. He's got the speed machine in Thomas after him. Oh, the diving tackle by Thomas. Couldn't get there. Biarchi almost getting involved. He kicks it to 50 now. That's the Central's flag. It ends up by hand from Thomas to Stengel. Gives to Chris Gowans in the pocket. He'll unload from about 35 metres and will miss to the far side. And yes, Bronx cheers, all right, because there's another behind. The doggies are 6-12-48. The Maggies 11-19-85. Grand Central says we've just gone time on 20 minutes at Alberton in the third term.
And Westhoff on, Justin Westhoff on for Shell coming off. And that's courtesy of Stillwell Ford at Medindi.
Well, everybody's confused here at Alberton this afternoon, and the ball's in the back pocket to Luby for the Magpies. The Luby will go short. I'm still trying to work out why that was a bounce a moment ago, but as the ball now comes to the Magpies, they come up towards centre wing. Griffin got high. Out of his hands, though, came to Slattery. He tapped the ball on. Clever work. That'll be a free kick, will it, for the Magpies? No, the umpire said it's okay, and he'll have to move in and ball it up as the ball is taken over the line by Justin Westhoff for a boundary throw-in right in front of the RPA commentary team. And here the Port Adelaide supporters booing in the background as the ball is thrown back into play. Up they go. Ware's actually tried to take the tap. In there was Hayes running onto it though. Beautifully done by Biarchi. Goes towards full forward. Up they fly. Waterhouse almost a one-hander off hand. The recovery's good by Clive. The handball in towards centre half forward. Overrunning it was Muzzolino. Oh, going in strongly there. Jimmy Gowans. Can he pick up the footy? Tried the handball and over. The Pies have a chance. It will go the way of the doggies this time. It'll go again.
It was a free kick against... it was certainly Jimmy Gowans got the free kick. He was pushed down with the momentum of the running of the play, though.
Yeah, the umpire not in charge of the game again paid the free kick. There's been plenty of that this afternoon. This has allowed the Dogs to break away. The long bomb now by Cochrane. I think up towards full forward. Shell there. He was out in front, but the pressure by Archie is just sensational. Lucas Sullivan lines up for goal. Puts it towards full forward. Oh, great shepherding there by Chris Gowans. Has allowed the ball to go through for a goal. That's his second. And the Doggies move along to 7 goals, 12-54 on the marble bar scoreboard. Port Adelaide 11-19-85, and we leave the pressure-cooked Alberton Oval for around-the-ground scores thanks to Black and White.
In the AFL, it's full-time at Woodville Oval. It's still 21-point margin to Nord over South at Noarlunga, and Sturt trail Glenelg by 59 points at Unley.
And back here at Albion, marble bar scoreboard, there's 31 points in favour of Port. The doggies are coming off. Davis was copped too high there. And one of those criminals masquerading as umpire has played a good free kick there. So Davis will kick from inside the centre square. So some attention there.
No, not Davis.
It's not Micklejohn. So it appeared that Davis copped it over the shoulder, but it wouldn't surprise anyone if there was a mistake made in that umpiring exchange. So Micklejohn, what's happening here? There's a 25-metre penalty. So people are cheering. No idea what that was for, but anyway, James Gowan standing the mark.
No, I think McCabe was standing the mark. I think James Gowan was telling the umpire something. And I think that's why the 25-metre penalty was Shell coming on, Chris Gowans coming off courtesy of Stillwell Fort at Medindi.
Meiklejohn goes inside 50 long with the kick-off. Picking it up was Polton. He did that well. He gets a half a kick away. It's going to be run onto by Jeremy Clayton. Is it? He's got players everywhere. Was he copped in the back or too high? No, says the umpire.
And locking off for Port Adelaide and Kingsley on. Again, courtesy of Stillwell Fort at Medindi.
Been a good player today, Lockin. He's run pretty much with Chris Gowns, certainly for the first half. There's a Centrals player getting off the carpet, and it's Paul Thomas. He did that fairly slowly, but anyway, it's a ball up right inside the boundary line in the forward pocket. It's come out now, and the player there was Richard Cochrane. He rebounded from 50 with the kick. The battle of the big men, Meiklejohn and McKenzie. It's come now to Stengel, I think it was, and he's given by hand to the player Mussolino. He's sending the outside. He ran about 45 metres. The umpire wasn't looking into the sun and paid a good decision there. He should have had a bounce. He ran a long way. He ran probably about 25 minutes. Would have thought without bouncing. You can't do that.
He ran from half back to centre wing.
So maybe it was 45 minutes. So Butcher's got it, 45 metres. Butcher's got it on centre wing outside, and he finds Kingley, who's back on the ground. He marks, and he's just surveying his options. But Port Adelaide, gee, they need a goal here. It's not dangerous, but another one to the doggies, and they'll come home with their tails up. The kick goes to Polton, and he marks, so probably about 80 metres out in front of the right-hand side of the Alan Scott Power headquarters. Jared Polton's been a good player today. No one standing the mark. That's poor indeed. So Polton gets a few extra metres. Bombs it long inside 50. Oh, Marek in front. He almost took the mark, but Jeremy Clayton ran onto it. He's been wrapped up in the tackle about 25 metres out. The umpire will run in now, and it'll be a ball up going to the Port Adelaide end, which is the northern end. The Magpies cheer squad are chanting and carrying on. The margin here, 31 points on the Marble Bar scoreboard.
Up it goes. The ball hits the deck without anybody touching it. In actual fact, number of players stacks on the mill there, and the umpire again will ball it up inside the 50, only about 20 metres out from the Port Adelaide goal. What's going to happen? Have a look at the number of players around the ball. There must be 20. Came down to one of the Port players who banged it towards full forward. Elijah Ware picked it up. He goes straight for the boundary line. The ball will sit up though. Beard ran onto it, but he couldn't control it and forces it over the boundary line for a throw-in inside the 50, about 40 metres around from the Port Adelaide goal. And what's happened here? Another free kick has been paid to Ware. I've got no idea what that was for, and the kick from Ware comes up to Shell at half back. He'll finger it into the centre. Ivanova takes the ball in the centre. I'm still trying to work out what that kick was for. The ball comes up towards full forward. McKenzie, all the dogs are down. The Pies are up. But there's Luby picking it up. He's going to get caught. The handball. It wasn't a handball, but the umpire said it's all right. Ivan has the touch of the fumble. The ball's loose, and finally...
Why wasn't that holding the ball? Why wasn't that holding the ball back...
I've got no idea. Nobody does either, as the ball now with Ivan in the back pocket. Gee whiz. Talk about... indecisions here this afternoon as Eilert now plays on. Will kick it towards half-back. Meiklejohn put up one hand against McKenzie. The ball kept in play by McKenzie. Does it well to the big shell. Oh, that'll be a free kick over the shoulder.
Yep.
No, he won't. He's going to throw it in. Gee whiz, the ones you think are there, they don't pay, and the ones that aren't there, they pay. Have a commentary, Paul.
Good afternoon, Shane Harris. You're going to have a busy week on the track. Don't worry about that. There's the boundary line thrown right in front of the bowling club here at Alberton, and Shell flying from the side. He's having a bit of a run sort of on the ball. Westhoff, he picks it up. He handballs to Ware, who runs inside 50. He doesn't get it on the full Ware. He's about 40 metres out. He has a pot shot and misses. Is it a free kick? No, it's not. It's a behind to the doggies. 11-19-85, the Magpies. The Bulldogs 7-13-55. We've gone 28 minutes of the final term, and it'll be Luby, I think, has been the designated kicker-innerer, if there is such a term, but it will be Tommy Carr on this occasion to kick it out from fullback. So
marching back to 30 points, boys. So the Central side are just edging their way back into this game.
They are indeed. So the Magpies, another goal before three-quarter time would be good. The first term, 31.5 minutes. The second term, 33 minutes. And we're approaching about 28.5 minutes of the third term. Carr goes this way and that, and then it ends up with Luby, who marks in the back pocket. I think that is Luby. Yes, It is, the left foot. And he goes back to Tommy Carr. That's pretty dangerous. But Scholar running onto the mark is having a spell up full forward. McKenzie is now on the ball, and he's opposed to Meiklejohn, just standing at centre-half forward. It goes back to Luby. So they seem to be running down the clock, the Magpies. Luby's got it in the back pocket. He's got a lead now from Chad Davis, who marks and gets pushed 25 metres. That is just
absolutely ridiculous.
That's a Smithfield crash clanger, because that is just undisciplined play, and it gives a free possession to Port Adelaide to go out to half forward.
And didn't keep up with him, so Davis gets some valuable meterage. He now runs from half back and kicks to the attacking side of centre wing out of side. There was a player up for Port, but he was caught behind. It now comes to Westhoff of the lever rider. He picks it up. He's tackled well by the Maggies. The umpire will come in, and the umpire will pay a ball up. and he will ball it up right in front of the outer, which is packed with Central's and Port Adelaide supporters here in Arpagate Football, the local football specialist with Dennis Brown.
Umpire's going to bounce at centre wing on the outer side. Any number of players around them, and the ball tapped forward. This could be a chance for the Pies. Running onto it is Polton. Polton's got the footy now. He gets away the handball. He's looking there for his teammate in car. He gets pushed in the back. Surely umpire knows it's the up now. It's the push, and it'll go away the doggy. Gee whiz. Oh.
Well, I think I'm in a different game here today, boys.
Holding security.
And the ball now taken by the doggies in the last line of the fence. Hayes has got it, and he's going to break away and bring it out to this half-back back. The long lead is on from Wilson, who's just come onto the ground courtesy of Stillwell Ford at Medindi. Didn't see who went off. It might have been Stengel as the ball comes up towards half-forward. Justin Westhoff straight through his hands, though. Coming through beautifully was the player in car. That's a great tackle. Millie holding the sighting, but the umpire said, play it on, boys. Comes to Curry. Curry to McCabe, who didn't even look and just bombed it towards half-forward. Some of the doggies' options today have been so uncharacteristic. And running out at Mick, he threw it away. Comes to Wilson. Wilson's only got to get it on the boot because there's a player all in the square. Big Yash. I think it's Miller who plays on and kicks the goal for the doggies. They go to 8 goals, 13. That's 61 on the marble bar.
So the third quarter started 2 goals within the first 10 minutes to the Maggies. The margin was 51, and now it's 4 straight goals after the last 4 of the affair by the doggies. There's the ball up in the centre. Gee, if they get another one before three-quarter time, will make life interesting. A free kick has been paid, and it will go to Kingsley. And the Bronx cheers come from the crowd. So McCabe is standing the mark. He's right on the line that goes through the centre circle. Kingsley goes forward. We'll find Butcher, but the siren's gone here at Alberton. 11-19, 85 the Magpies at lemon time. The doggies 8-13, 61 marble bar scoreboard, 24 points the margin. That quarter went 32.5 minutes thanks to Grand Central time clock barrel.
Goal scorers for the Magpies. Slattery has got 3. Also Waterhouse.
Greg Phillips' wife and the grandchild there, and Grandma looking after Bubs there with the bottle in hand as the umpire holds the ball aloft. Pretty strong chance that baby will grow up to be a Port Adelaide supporter. Up they go, the tap down by Marrick. Beautifully done. Away goes Adam Kingsley. He bangs it up towards Waterhouse. The ball over his head. Running onto it should be Micklejohn behind in the pocket and tapped over by Sivanala. Was it deliberate?
No, it was deliberate. There's no question about that.
Well, Micklejohn turned around and asked the umpire, and he said, I was blinded, and there'll be a boundary throw in the left full forward pocket.
Yes, goodness me.
Gee whiz, a great opening from Port Adelaide straight out of the centre. Was beautifully done by Marrick to Kingsley. The ball out of bounds in the left full forward pocket. The umpire to throw it back in. Back it comes spinning into play. The big men do battle. The Pies kick a goal here. It'd be very handy as they force the ball out only about 35 metres out from the goal, right in front of the marble bar scoreboard. Stacks on the mill, and the umpire will move in and ball it up once again about 35 metres out from the Magpie goal.
So Jenner was the player that was tackled by Swatala. Good 50-50 ball. This will suit the Maggies. A ball up right in front of the marble bar scoreboard. 4 goals the margin. Oh, tapped beautifully. Jeremy Clayton runs onto it, has a pot shot at goal and misses. So he's kicked 1 goal 4, if you don't mind, this afternoon, Jeremy Clayton. Marble bar scoreboard 11-20-86. The doggies are 8-13-61. Grand Central says we've got about 90 seconds of the third quarter.
Yeah,
very important kick in this one.
That was a tackle just late that forced that error, I reckon, Paul. I forget who the doggy tackler was, but it just forced the error off the boot of Jeremy Clayton. Back it comes into play for the doggies. This time Jimmy Gowns takes the mark. He's got Justin it's Lee Westhoff out here at centre wing. He called the play on, quickly turns around the body and zips it up towards Mazzolino. He tries to get past his opponent, and that was Luby. So Mazzolino now bombs a high ball in towards full forward. The big men will rise for the occasion, and almost a mark to O'Sullivan. Chance for Shell off the pack. They can't do much with it. Comes now to Baird. Baird sweeping handball to Archie. Archie now will go on the left boot and put it out towards half-back first there. Through the legs of Slattery. Out the back it comes. Who's going to be first there? Pushing the back. Oh, beautifully done by Kingsley. Got out of trouble for the Pies. Turns around and gives it to Slattery on the outer side of centre wing. Slattery immediately breaks away. Has a bound. He gets support from Butcher. He plays on again. Slattery with speed. He'll run towards 50. Go bang towards full forward. What a goal. This will be if he can kick it. But he can't. It's off to the right-hand side for the minor score to the Pies. They go to 11 goals, 21-87 on the marble bar scoreboard. And the doggies are 8-13-61.
So there's the kickouts marked by Elijah Ware in the back pocket right in front of the marble bar scoreboard. 11-21. This affair should be over, but it's not. 26 points the margin. There's Curry taking the mark, kicking to Shell at centre wing outer side. He marks in front of Baird, who didn't really try and go and stand the mark where he should have. But anyway, so a couple of extra footsteps for Daniel Shell, but Port Adelaide are manning up well. Shell looking into the sun. He's looking for an option. There's one provided by Justin Westhoff. He's all on his own. Now we can go to him short. He elects not to, so he goes long. One would have thought it would have been a good option, but there's the kick, and it goes to O'Sullivan. Carr did a good job there, possibly holding some jump. If the umpire didn't see it, and Carr is now wrapped up in the tackle.
Why wouldn't he go to Westhoff?
Yeah, it's almost as though they're playing as individuals today, the Doggies. I mean, we've seen it. That's not the first time that's happened today.
No, there's the ball up, so Scholar taps it down. Thomas runs onto it. He's about 30 metres out. He has a bounce now. He can run right to the goal face. Archie's there, but he handballs to McKenzie. The Dogs have got one. Goodness me, 11-21-87. The Doggies are coming 9-13-67. The margin is 20 points. We've gone 3 minutes in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it was all about Scholar knocking the ball forward there. Thomas ran onto it and opened up the face of goals. The big buckets actually walked out towards the top of the goal square, and that left Corey Archie with no other option than to go to Thomas. Thomas then handballed the ball over to Big Buckets, and Buckets turned around and kicked truly for his first goal. So all of a sudden now it's a 20-point ball game as we see a Stillwell Ford interchange, and coming on for the Magpies is Thomas.
Butcher is coming off.
Is the player who's coming off for the Magpies. So, gee whiz, game on here. 4 minutes gone, courtesy of Grand Central this final quarter.
Marrick got the hand of the ball. The ball goes up towards half forward, though, for the Doggies. Running onto it there is Elijah Ware. He's got speed to burn. He gets past his opponent. He'll run towards 50. He'll bang it in towards full forward. It might carry the pack. He'll go through for a minor score to the Doggies. They go to 9 goals, 14-68 on the marble bar scoreboard. The Maggies are 11-21-87. So the Pies will bring it in. They'll bring it to the grandstand side, and the mark taken there for the Pies there by Mann. He immediately plays on, comes towards half-back. Polton's got good man. No, he dropped the mark. The umpire, no, he's been called to play on. The Doggie players weren't watching the umpire. This has allowed Archie, but suddenly the ball not bouncing for the Doggies. As Archie did it superbly, and the ball taken by Lee Westhoff. Gives it to Scholar. Scholar goes short, finds Thomas. There, and it's still inside the 50 for the Dogs. The umpire's hovering. He will say, say play on. It's going straight for the boundary line. Was the Port Adelaide player there in, I think it was Luby, and there'll be a boundary throw in right on the 50 for the Doggies.
87 plays 68 here on the marble bar scoreboard.
The big thump again by the Magpies straight to the boundary line, and there'll be yet another boundary throw in, but they've progressed outside the 50, have the Pies, for a boundary throw-in. 87 plays 68 as the boundary umpire throws it back into play. Big pack up over the top. Shell got a backhand of the ball, though. It comes out the back there to Beard. He turns around, but straight down the throat of Lee Westhoff, who goes in towards the full forward area through the hands of McCabe. They dive on top of the footy. McCabe got it, tackled by Locken, and the ball being held to him, said the umpire, and there'll be a ball up in the left full forward pocket for the Doggies on the grandstand side.
They force a goal here. All of a sudden, it's going to be game on.
It is, so the ball's inside 50, and power failures down here at Alberton. There's been one this year and one this afternoon. There's a handball away from Micklejohn, I think it was. It bounces around about 50. Baird will pick it up. Oh, he played for the free kick and it wasn't there. Slade, was he tackled too high? Was he pushed in the back? Playing on is McCabe. The Doggies have got another one. 11-21-87. The Maggies. Central are 10-14-74. 3 to McCabe. The margin is now 13 points. Goodness gracious me. And we'll go back to the studio thanks to Black and White Trucks and Removal, Michael Filippo.
In the AFL, it's the West Coast Eagles over the Kangaroos by 17 points. In the SANFL, it's the Eagles by 35 points over North Adelaide. South are 5 points up at three-quarter time over Nord. And Sturt are trailing Glenelg by 71 points late in the third term.
Okay, back here at Alberton, and the doggies are coming 87-74, Marble Bar scoreboard. This is going to be a ball terror, rip snorter, a spine tingler. There's the ball up in the centre. It spills free. Polton diving on it. Surely was copped in the back. He was. Westhoff L. Polton plays on immediately. That's not a bad move at all, Polton. He's at centre wing grandstand side. Goes inside 50. Looking for Clayton. Gutsy mark taken by Cochrane. Well, if that's a mark, so was the one that Clive Waterhouse took earlier in the game.
No question.
So Cochrane goes crossways and finds Hayes. He plays on now. He's got Lindsay Thomas in pursuit, but it goes wider still. And it's taken there by Ware, I think it is. He goes this way and that. He rebounds from 50 with a kick and finds Mackenzie. Scholar, I beg your pardon, it is, who marks at half-back right for the doggies. He's got a loose player further afield. It doesn't get to him on the full. Running around, it was Mussolino, I think it was. He kicks the ball about 6.5 metres. Wrapped up, Scholar. Oh, he got the handball away. Running onto it is Mussolino, and he goes to centre-half forward. And the mark should be taken by Locken. And isn't. Oh, great.
Free kick downfield.
Played to Shell. He's got no one on, but he's going to unload from outside 50. He's got a running player, and that's a Gowans. I don't know which one it is until he turns around and I see his number. He goes this way, and that looked like it was James. He handballs off to Westhoff, who unloads from outside 50 and will miss. The margin is 2 goals, Darryl, on the Marble Bar scoreboard.
Yeah, great play there by Chris Gowans, wasn't it? He just turned around, feinted the handball, gave it to Westhoff, and Westhoff should have learnt from the kick that James Gowans did and aimed at the top of the left-hand goalpost and allowed the breeze to take it through. But 2 goals after a 48-point lead at one stage to the Magpies.
I reckon they're up by 50-odd points at one stage. In
51,
fact, 51 as the ball is brought to the outer side. There's 2 doggies, and one of those, the Shell goes up, gets the handball. They're coming all right. Ware's got it. He's gone for the shortest pass, and that'll be a free kick for the doggies. A push in the back. Has he paid advantage? No, he can't. It's got to come back, and I think it's Jimmy Gowans will be the recipient.
Okay, so Jimmy Gowans will kick from around about 50 metres, and he loves kicking a goal.
I told you they're hard to tell apart, and he ain't heavy.
Okay. All right, so it's Chris Gowans. He goes short pass, and he's found the player in McCabe. And gee whiz, all of a sudden the doggies are right back in this game. And it's been interesting since they've put Mackenzie up forward. They've put Thomas on the ball, and it's been those players that are Bulldogs within a goal. So in he comes now, McCabe lines up, kick is on its way. He has kicked truly. He's told the salute of the crowd. He has now got his 4th, and Central Districts have got their 11th. They go to 11 goals, 15. They trail the Magpies 11-21. That's by 1 solitary goal on the Marble Bar scoreboard. 10 minutes gone, courtesy of Grand Central. And how important is this next centre break here at the Angus Securities?
There's a ball up in the centre. The Angus Securities game of the day is a belter, 11-21 to 11-15. Bad kicking is bad football, and Port Adelaide with a lead of 51 points. They need a goal, and they need it now. There's the ball up. Scholar it was getting first, palm to it. Kingsley runs onto it, running onto it beautifully with Slattery. The looping and swooping hand pass to Bolton. He takes it, he goes inside 50. What can happen here? Well, the Centrals are in the van. There's 3 of them. It spills clear. Jenner, he pushed the player in the back.
See, that is silly football there by Jenner, because he just rode the player straight in the middle of the back.
Yes, it was Cochrane going to James Gowans. He marks Thomas, it is, for Port Adelaide. So James Gowans is right in the goal square at the southern end of Alberton Oval. Marble Bar scoreboard is 6 points in favour of Port Adelaide. So James Gowans comes wide, goes back to Richard Cochrane in exactly the same spot where he was paid that free kick. So they're not going anywhere at the moment. So Port Adelaide must man up and do it well. And there they didn't. Mussolino, that's not 15 metres. That is about 10. Oh, get off and go home. That's poor. Mussolino plays on and finds the player in the back pocket there. I don't know who that is. That looks like Hayes, maybe it is, in the back pocket. He goes overboard now to Mussolino. That went 15. The umpire will probably call play on. He does. There you go. Mussolino rebounds from 50 and goes to centre wing out of sight, and the mark will be taken by Daniel Shell.
Hasn't he lifted his game in this last quarter, Daniel Shell?
Well, he's been put to centre-half forward, and he's giving Baird the run around as he bombs it up towards half forward. The player was standing. Archie was back there. There'll be a free kick, and we'll go to the player in question.
It was against O'Sullivan.
He handballed over to Islet. Islet in turn, he handballed. His teammate wasn't looking, but they're going to get out of it all right. As the handball goes over to Big Marrick, he's put him under the pump. The handball is good to Butcher, though. Butcher gets support from Slattery. He's been a good player. Slattery now bombs it towards full forward at the back of the pack. There could have been a mark to Port Adelaide. A taken there, thrown off the ball. Is the player there for the Doggies. I'll pick him up for you in a minute. I think it's the tackler was Biarchi, the Doggy player there. Swatala it was. It's a tap down by Sivanala cleverly to Curry. Curry's gone bang straight to the outer side and put it out of bounds on the sitting ball. What is
who was he
happening
going
here today?
for? There was no one there.
Well, I think he was just playing offensive, but you can't play defensive at this stage of the game. So Port Adelaide now, big chance. I think it's Kingsley with the ball. Bombs it towards full forward. Waterhouse is in the van, straight through his hands. It comes out the back. Polton, he'll get onto the left boot. No, he puts the handball over, and here's a shot from Luby. And no, it's Mann. And boy, he put it through. The Magpies out by 12 points.
12 points over the Kangaroos, and in the SANFL it's Woodville West Torrens by 35 points over North Adelaide. South are now 17 points clear of Nord, about 5 minutes into the final term, and at Unley it's Glenelg by 72 points over Sturt.
Kieran Alberton centre clearance to Jeremy Clayton. Oh, Jenner's taken a mark outside 50. He now kicks in board looking for the play there, and Butcher flew like a magpie but couldn't take the mark, and it's gone out of bounds. Mussolino runs onto it, still confused how the ball travelled 9 metres and he got paid a mark, and it'll be a ball up in the forward pocket. Grand Central says we've gone 14 and a half minutes. The Magpies are in front by 2 goals after that goal to Peter Mann, and it's game on here. There's been 23 goals, 36 kicked here this afternoon. So there's the boundary line throw-in right deep in the forward pocket for the Magpies. It'll be Waterhouse, in fact, doing the ruck work, and in fact, Polton getting involved as well. But Waterhouse, in fact, won that. He did well indeed. Slade runs onto it for the Doggies. He rebounds from 50 with a kick, but only so far as Adam Kingsley should take the mark. The pressure from the Doggies was good. Oh, gee, it's play on now. The Doggies got control of it, but Kingsley has affected the spoil. It's gone out of bounds, about 80 metres out from the Port Adelaide goal. Grand Central says we have now gone 15 minutes. You're on RP8 football. Angus Securities match of the day with Dennis Brown.
What a game of football, DB.
Yeah, well, very important goal to the Magpies, you know, because I reckon if the Doggies can get their noses in front, they might go on with it, but they've just been stopped in their tracks by that sausage roll, and the Magpies now have got a bit of a sniff again as the ball now goes up towards the pocket off the boot there of Kingsley. Running onto it now is Jenner, turns around, fires towards the goal. Easy in the van. The mark taken there by Polton. He immediately plays on and brings it out to Butcher, and Butcher will line up and should kick a very important goal, Daryl Smith.
Well, he's got to go back and kick the goal, doesn't he? He's on a 45-degree angle, about 30 metres out, and he has to kick this goal to give them that extra breather. They lead by 2 straight kicks now. This will be 3 if he does goal. Goes in now, kicks it, and he's kicked it straight through for his first. Great play there by Polton to react very, very quickly and get it back to Butcher. They've got a 3-goal buffer now, have the Districts. 11-15, 81 on the marble bar scoreboard. Grand Central time clock tells me played 15 minutes of this final quarter, and if a centre break is important, it has to go to the Doggies this one, and they've got to score very, very quickly.
Yeah, I think the Magpies have now got the momentum going again. As I said, that goal to man was so important as the Doggies were coming, and now, of course, they're down the gurgler by 18 points. The umpire will ball it up in the centre. Griffin up against Marrick, the ball to ground. Who's going to break away with it? An attempted kick off the ground, though. A chance now for it. Locken gets it over to Clayton. Clayton immediately bombs it towards the long lead there of Butcher again. Almost picked it up at his ankles, couldn't do so. Running onto it, however, is Swatala for the Doggies. He'll go towards centre wing. Not a good option. There's a couple of Magpies out there against Chris Gowns, and they'll take possession. They must, because it's 2 against 1. Marrick gets it back now to his opponent. Back it comes now to Marrick, and he bombs it in towards the half-forward flank. A chance again for Swatala. If he can pick it up, he can't. The ball's at his feet, trying to get the handball away. The ball's underneath him, and the umpire will move in and ball it up. Half-forward flank out of side for the Pies.
So Biarchi again involved in the tackling capacity, and Slattery also involved further upfield, has been very good. Peter Mann is also getting some touches. Slade from that ball up, gets the ball round the corner, and a mark's been taken there
highlight
by one of the Gowns boys. I think it's James, and he's hurt himself. He's got cramp. He gives by hand to Thomas. Thomas will unload going inside 50, but there's Mr. Reliable, Corey Archie. The umpire probably won't pay it if things are going according to plan. He handballs to Baird. Baird plays on immediately. He's got a player upfield, and that is Jenner. It comes off his shins. It goes to Marek. He's offloaded by Chris Gowns as he kicks it. Nothing underwater. It was in the contest. Biarchi runs onto it. It's centre half forward. Oh, Curry goes wide. A player out there is Ware, I think it is taken the mark. He's on the defensive side of centre wing outer side. He's got Micklejohn in front of him. He coordinates over that. Oh, great work by Archie. He now goes back and gets it. It's 2 on to 1. The Magpies need to get it out of there. It's been slapped on now, but running onto it is a Gowans. It's James. He goes by hand to Griffin. Griffin is tackled beautifully and the Maggies are away. Oh, Chad Davis tried to get the don't argue. It now comes to Chris Gowers. He handballs to Westhoff, paddles it back to McKenzie. He's wrapped up in the tackle. He kicks it backwards now. Oh, it's exciting stuff. Griffin is tackled beautifully. Oh, coming it over the chutney was a Port Adelaide player there in Thomas. The umpire, you need to go home. You got no idea. Get off. Oh, goodness
well,
me.
the umpire's paid a free kick now, and it's gone back to the player for Elston for the Magpies.
Yeah, and look, the game absolutely stops dead in its track now as the ball is out there at half-back for the Magpies. Davis is the player who's got it, and he'll bang it towards the centre of the ground in front. Wilson should take the mark, but drops it. That could be costly. The Pies might get the opportunity here through Bianchi. He tackled, threw the ball away with one hand. The umpire said that's okay today. We're not paying anything. As the ball's back it now, here's a chance now for Kingsley. Does it superbly. Gets it on the right boot. Here's the big chance. Battery will take the mark at centre-half forward. And I reckon that's all over Red Rover. If he bombs this, Smithy, it'll be good night, Richard.
No, just about is good night, Richard, even if he kicks a score, because that means that the Central side have to kick 4 goals to win the game, as we see an interchange player coming off. Elston coming off, and coming on courtesy of Stillwell Ford is Tommy Carr. But Luke Slattery, also a change there is one of the Gowns boys, James, coming off, and coming on is Stengel, courtesy of Stillwell Ford. But Slattery coming in now from 35 metres out. He is poked at it. He's got his 4th, and that is just about game, set, and match down here at the Angus Securities game today.
Of the affair have probably killed off the doggies. You'd think time will get away from them, but the Maggies have settled beautifully. Goals to man at the 12.5-minute mark, Butcher at the 15th, and now Slattery at the 19-minute mark of the final term. There's the ball up in the centre. They've at least been able to do that properly today. The umpires running onto it is Jeremy Clayton. He's being hurled all over the joint. Gee, what a surprise that was missed. Mara gets to half a kick away. Backing back into trouble is Thomas. He's tackled, or picking up is a player there for Central. He's thrown off the footy, and the umpire sees that one. Yeah, and
free kick to Ware.
It was there, so Ware has got the footy now. He's got a runner out wide, and that player running there is Swatala. He's got the bounce job. Didn't favour him at all. But Biaggi tackles a player and pulls him down. It was a free kick if nothing else. Swatala's got it. He's now on the attacking side of Sinowing. Goes inside 50. Oh, what a mark to Archie. No, it's not Archie.
No, Archie was getting rid of Shell at the same time. I think it's Tommy Carr back there that's taking the mark.
Tommy Carr, so he's at half-back now, and he's got a player running there, and Archie stops in his tracks now, and he plays on because he's got a player upfield, and that player is Chad Davis. He can't take the mark. The pressure from Ware is involved. Oh, Biaggi, gee, he's been a good player today. Gets a handball away. Go off the carpet, Chad boy. Oh, he cups one over the shoulder. Yes. Yes, good decision indeed. So the free kick and 25 metres will go to Chad Davis. Will take him to centre-half forward. This is very good for Port Adelaide. They've been challenged and they've responded in the best fashion, Darryl.
Haven't we seen some 25-metre penalties today?
We have.
There's been a whole lot of them. So we thought the game was going to be tough.
So Slattery plays on. Gee, skills haven't been good. It's been marked by McCabe. He rebounds from 50 with the hand pass and goes to O'Sullivan. Gee, the chase from Butcher was good. It comes now to attacking side of centre wing. Baird and Westhoff, Justin Variety. It's going to go out of bounds. He does well, Johnny Baird. No, he doesn't. Yes, he does. It's just gone out of bounds. Justin Westhoff. Alberton Oval is bathed in sunshine. The crowd are going berserk. 24 points the margin on the marble bar scoreboard.
Boundary umpire to throw it back in half-forward flank grandstand side. We're into time on the Grand Central time clock as the Port Adelaide player being hung onto. That's okay as the calls play on the bottom of the pack there. I think it was Islet, and he drags the ball in, and the umpire said we'll ball it up. Half-forward flank on the grandstand side for the Pies. Not sure who's booing. It can't be the Pies because they're in front.
Well, they're booing the umpire, mate. That's what they're doing.
The doggies that are booing. Up they go. The tap down by Westhoff of the Lee variety. Only as far as Islet, and in true Port Adelaide fashion, he goes straight to the boundary line. Under these circumstances, the boundary line is your friend, and there'll be a boundary throw in right in the interchange gates on the grandstand side, obviously, as the ball comes spinning back into play. Up they go. The ball down the ground. Gripping there. Tackled strongly with O'Sullivan. He's pulled off the footy. It comes now to Chris Gowns. He gets on with the left boot now. Comes up towards half forward. The kick's an absolute gem. That was a PDK highlight. Hits Slade on the chest. Slade goes into the centre to Wilson, who tries to pick it up on the half volley. In fact, he's got it now. He'll run inside 50. The long bomb towards full forward is going across the pace. And but in actual fact, back in the last line of defence, I think it's Luby that's taken the mark for the Magpies. He'll tip it short and finds man. And he kicked that very important goal when the doggies were charging, and now tips it short to Jeremy Clayton on the defensive 50. Immediately plays on very close to the boundary line, but his kick's letting down. That's another Smithfield crash clanger as it's marked by Wilson. He gets it over to Slade. Slade breaks away, bombs it towards full forward. Big Scholars in the van there. Back there is Archie with him. The ball to ground though. The Magpies have the number. Comes to Luby. He goes to the with a thumping kick to the outer side. Putama's going to be first there in front of Archie. Can he pick up the footy? Tries to pick it up. Can't control it. Over the boundary line it goes right in front of the cheesecake chopper for a boundary throw in.
Great kick by Luby from defence, just what the doctor ordered here, and it'll be a ball up right on the opposite side of the ground from the RPH commentary crew, the local football specialist, sponsored today in Match of the Day and has done all year by Angus Securities. The ball comes to Chris Gowns, a quick kick away by a Bulldogs player there. Tom Carr got involved, but beating him to the football was Stengel. The hand pass was outstanding to Chris Gowns. He's got to get the quick on the boot pretty quickly. Jeremy Clayton's in the back line. He spoils that. Luby runs onto it. No, he doesn't. He leaves it for the man of the moment, Slattery. Gee, he's been good. He handballs backwards to Clayton. He's wrapped around the shoulder, one would have thought. Yes, free kick. The umpire has officiated correctly on that occasion. It'll be a free kick to Jeremy Clayton in the back pocket of Alberton Oval. It's in fact the northeastern pocket of Alberton Oval. Marble Bar scoreboard, 24 points is the margin in favour of the Maggies. Grand Central says we've gone 26 minutes. So Jeremy Clayton, it is time is of the essence here, and he's going to use up as much as possible for the Magpies. He now rebounds from 50 with a kicker. Leading Eilert will take the mark just inside the boundary. Did he get there in time?
He did, yep.
He did, OK. So Eilert's got it right in front of the caravan that's got souvenirs on it, and they're all black and white, and the beer will be flowing very well to here down here today. Eilert, he's now at left half back for the Magpies. They're slowing things down as they should. The Magpies, they'll win this game. The Port Adelaide will stay in the top 5. It comes to centre wing, outer side, and there'll be a free kick to Troy Butcher, who has been a very good player for Port Adelaide this year, and he is right on centre wing. And he's got an option, Biarchi, just sort of directing traffic. Butcher, they're hugging the boundary line, the Maggies. Gee, the lead by Davis was good, and the kick by Butcher honouring that lead was superb. Butcher takes the... Davis took the mark, handballed off to Jenner. The kick by Jenner is a Smithfield crash clanger, and the mark's taken inside defensive 50 by that player for Centrals, and that is Andrew Hayes.
Hayes goes short to Muzzolino in the back pocket. Grandstand tight. He in turns looks for Slade, and that's the way the footy goes. Slade immediately breaks away, still in the defensive 50. He'll chip it short to O'Sullivan, who's still in the defensive 50. It's almost like the defensive 100, but now he gets the kick away towards centre wing. The lead is on from McCabe. He's brought down by Butcher, and the umpire said it's OK as the ball goes over the boundary line for a throw-in outer side of the Alberton Oval, well into time on. The game's all over. Red Rover, 14-21, 105. The Pies, the Doggies, 11-15-81.
It's on the Marble Bar scoreboard, of course.
As the umpire throws it back into play, Marrick and McKenzie. Marrick actually got a left hand of the ball. Here's a chance, though, because it comes back to McKenzie. His handball, don't know who is doing it. Oh, luck's a fortune, because running onto it is Ware. Ware goes short, looking for and finding Big Scholar. He gets a sweeping handball now to Wilson, I think it is, who's got the footy. He goes bang from about 45 metres and has hooked it for the minor score. They go to 11-16-82 on the Marble Bar scoreboard. The Pies are 14-21, 105.
So Luby's got it for the Magpies. It was Alex Stengel kicked one goal one this afternoon. In fact, it will be Archie. Now he comes in board. He's got Clive Waterhouse down inside the defensive 50, and they're just going to hold things up, the Maggies, as they should. Winners are grinners, and they'll be grinning tonight, and the beers will taste good. Don't worry about that. Clive Waterhouse goes short and finds Jeremy Clayton, who has been quiet, but one of the things that he has done have been pretty good. 1 goal for this afternoon to Jeremy Clayton. Marble Bar scoreboard 105-82, and Jeremy Clayton will go back. They're just going to pick up stats here. Luby marks in the back pocket. So it's Cameron Islands on in the other back pocket, and Tim Luby will now kick it across to Cameron Island. He'll take the mark, and no one's booing because they're pretty happy. The Maggies have won, and they'll be fourth on the ladder. The Bays will jump to fifth. Sorry, the Magpies will be fifth. The Doggies will be fourth, and the Bays will be third at the end of this round. So permutations galore, and South Adelaide will be hot on the heels of them if they account for Norwood. So Waterhouse has got it left half back for the Magpies. He comes now. He's going to kick a screw putt. Does Clive. That's beautiful. It's gone about 60 metres. Oh, Tom Carr, the free kick being missed yet again. Surprise, surprise. Chills picked it up. He's tackled. That's holding the ball. Yes. And Slattery's got it. Will go long inside 50 for the Pies.
Yes, Slattery now with the footy, goes bang, chips it short onto the lead of the player there in Jenner, and Jenner now will have a shot, will he? He's right on the 50, and yes, I think he can have a shot.
He's got the breeze, hasn't he? So he might as well go back and have a shot. He's going to kick from around about 52 metres is Kyle Jenner, and yet to kick a goal today, and he's in the bowling green end here at the Alberton Oval. So Kyle Jenner coming in now. Will kick from 52 metres. The kick is on its way. It looks pretty good off the boot, but has it got the accurate the distance? No, it hasn't. It's got the gone through for a minor score, punched in as Ware brings the ball back in quickly. Goes to that outer side of the ground. He finds Thomas. Thomas has got the player leading for him, and that is Chris Gowns. Chris Gowns on centre wing.
He takes the mark and plays on Slattery. He's in hot pursuit. And he now kicks to half forward. It should be marked by Johnny Baird in front of Westhoff of the Justin variety, and it is. And again, they'll go backwards, or no, they'll go forwards, I beg your pardon, and it's taken by the play there. There's the siren. The Magpies have won, consolidated a spot in the 5 with a victory, 14-22, 106 to Central's 11-16-82. The last quarter went almost exactly 30 minutes. A great game of football here this afternoon. Daryl Smith.
It certainly has.